Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Welcome back to the Film Room Podcast. I'm Scott. As always, I'm here with my boy Dion.
What's up?
And today we're doing the brand new action comedy Deadpool and Wolverine. This is Marvel's maybe comeback.
Maybe.
I mean, do they need a comeback or like what? It's funny. Like in this movie, they even like they make fun of themselves so much.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
the movie.
I'm surprised.
I know. I was taken back by it too. Like the way they make fun of, Marvel and Fox, Disney. Like they're all just shooting shots at them. Well, it's all Deadpool shooting shots at them.
Yeah.
And some of them, I was like, wow, they actually like put that in the movie.
Yeah, it's
and
stiff.
It's kind of harsh.
No, 100%. And I feel like we have to. We got to talk about the elephant in the room. I don't know if you saw. Obviously,
Okay.
saw what happened at Comic-Con.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at this point, when this episode is going to be a little bit of old news, but I feel like we should talk about it. I
Couple
mean, it's pretty
days.
big news. Yeah, it's pretty big news. So, what do you think about the? It doesn't really ruin anything with the movie. It has to do with the whole like universe. So
Mhm.
they announced that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom in the next Avengers movie. What do you think?
I
Honest
love
opinion.
it. I mean, well,
Okay.
I like and I don't like it. So
Okay.
I love
feel the
that-
same way.
Yeah, so I love that
Yeah.
they announced Doctor Doom because
Yeah.
he's an awesome character, and like they got the rights to Fantastic Four and the X-Men mutants that we see in this movie, and so all of this just means so much more for the MCU. Like we can see
Yeah.
so many different characters and different storylines, and so that's really exciting. But the whole Robert Downey Jr. specifically, I don't why. Like he's
Yeah.
already Iron Man. How are they even going to do that?
Well, I mean, we're living in a multiverse world, so I guess that's how
So,
it's gonna work.
So you don't like Tony Stark just didn't exist in that timeline?
No, I don't think it's gonna be Tony Stark.
No, I know, but like he's already pre-established as Tony Stark in the MCU.
Well, I
So,
feel like the
like-
same. Okay, go say your thing.
Well, I was just gonna say, so like, what, like, do they just because Iron Man's dead? Do they just say that never happened and now this guy?
Whoa, spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Okay, what?
I'm just kidding. Okay.
Sorry, everybody. If you haven't seen friggin' Endgame, I'm sorry. That was what? How long was that? That was like
It's
3
like-
years ago.
Yeah, longer than that. It's like
Oh, that was
5.
pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pre.
Get out of here. What?
Continue.
No, like that's it. Like, how are they going to do that? Like, what? Am I
Well, my-
crazy?
No, well, my thing is that, like the same way they're introducing like Wolverine and like Deadpool, they were in a different universe, and in different universes, for example, what's it called? The Human Torch was one person in another universe, and he's a different person in another universe. So I feel like they could do it like that. That's the only way. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, maybe that makes sense. Where like people can be different heroes in different universes. It's almost like the what if episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess
Dr.
so.
Doom's
They just
not in this
won't even-
world. So
No.
I'm assuming he's gonna come into this world, and that
Right.
Doctor Doom from that world happened to be
You
Robert
think
Downey
someone's
Jr.
gonna be like, "Damn, you kind of look like Tony Stark." You ever heard of it? You know what I mean? Like,
I think-
you kind of look like Iron Man.
I
You guys
think
brothers or
to me,
something?
it sets up like a cool like reveal, because eventually he'll come into that world, and I think like our shout out Ian, like our buddy Ian said, I think he's gonna be like kind of covered up like Mandalorian the whole time, and then when the mass reveal comes up, like maybe I don't know, like Thor, someone's gonna be like, "Yo," or like his daughter. Where they're gonna be like, "Yo, is that dad?" And then he's gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" It's just like it's gonna trip them out. I bet because it's gonna be one of those cool suspense things. Where, like all the fans know who's under that mask, but the whole
Yeah.
characters don't know. They're probably gonna be all shit talking Doom, and they're gonna not know who's. So I feel like that leads. That's my excitement if they do it that way, where it's gonna be like a cool like reveal.
Yeah. Well, we're
But-
gonna find out. Did they say when the movie's coming out? Like when it's supposed to be?
2026, I think.
Oh, that's not bad actually.
No, it's not that far.
Okay.
No, it's not that far. They gotta establish the Fantastic Four and all those guys first.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't
Well,
know
I
how they're
hope
doing.
they're not going to take the DC approach and just go. What did they do? They went Wonder Woman,
Batman versus Superman.
Batman versus Superman,
Justice
League. Yeah, what, bro? That was so bad. That was so bad.
Yeah, no, it was not a good approach.
I hope Marvel learns from DC and doesn't do, because they did it right the first time with their Avengers.
Yeah, not true.
That was great. But so Deadpool and Wolverine. Before we get into this, I just want to be upfront with everybody.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through the movie front to back, so there's gonna be lots of spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want spoilers, pause the episode right here, go watch it, and then come back. Don't worry, we'll wait.
But yeah, we'll wait. As you pause it, we'll just be frozen here in time.
Okay, here we go. All right, so welcome back then. Hey.
Yeah.
All right, so spoiler, just so you know. So this is our first time doing a new release.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, how did it go, like going to the movie theater, like with a notepad and like taking notes? Like how was that?
I'll tell you, I went 50-50 with it because at one point I was writing in my notes, and it almost feels weird. It's like you're not doing anything wrong, but it almost feels like you're doing something weird. When like there's two people beside you, and you're they see like your hands going down. It's like, what's this guy doing over here? It's like I was like, I'm taking notes. Like he didn't ask me, but I could see them kind of looking over. It just looked strange. So I'd say about like maybe like halfway through. I didn't even make it halfway through. I kind of stopped
Taking notes.
I stopped taking notes, and then
really?
afterwards, because I told myself in my head, I'm like, when soon as you step out of the theater, just try to remember everything that you remembered. So that's what I did. I started taking notes for a little bit. After the movie ended, I went out, and was just outside the theater, just writing notes. I was like, okay, this is what happened. This is what happened.
Well, it was fresh in your mind.
Well, it was still fresh in my mind, yeah. And honestly, I feel like the way this movie was structured, you don't really. I feel like there wasn't a lot of different, oh man, there's this scene. I feel like you could remember, like, at this point he was talking to Happy. At this point they were in the vote. You know what I mean? I feel like it was very easy to be like, I remember these scenes. And then if I remembered something, that probably makes it, oh, well, if you didn't remember it, then it probably wasn't that memorable. I kind of looked at it. And then
Well, so I took notes throughout. But you're right that like this movie, I was honestly thinking about this before. I was like, this is kind of the perfect movie for us to like try out a new release because like you said, not a whole lot even happens in this movie. Like the plot isn't really that important to this movie. Well, I'm not going to say it's not that important, but like there's not a whole lot that goes down. Really, like everything is happening so slowly because they're leaving all this open space for Ryan Reynolds to ball out. And he's cracking jokes and Logan, like Hugh Jackman's cracking jokes, and you know, so there's all of that kind of open space that happens every time they meet a new person or they come into a new area or whatever. So like remembering what happened in that scene is actually pretty easy because there's not a whole lot that happened in the movie in general. Like really, you know, the TVA catches them, sends them down to the void. They team up with all their cameo people, and then they have the fight. They get back to Earth, and then they have another fight there, and then that's it.
All right, and that's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening. Follow us on. There's the spoiler-free review.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. Man, when that guy pulled up, that was crazy in that room, and then he shot that thing, and damn. But no, yeah, I like the movie a lot, like because like it, like that's what this movie was, right? Like I'm going in like expecting comedy, and I expected a few cameos, not as much as this movie's dripping cameos.
I know, I didn't expect that either.
But like, I mean, yeah, I'm not at all mad about the plot thing. Like I said, that there's not a lot happening because they're leaving the space for comedy, and it was funny, so it worked.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And like before you get into it too, like as we just started running through the movie, I'm so glad. Like the trailers don't like give you anything really like the spoilers or the cameos coming forward, but I know there was like stuff out there, and like I saw them later on, and I'm like, thank God I didn't watch that thing or listen to that podcast. People were like, oh, these are some like rumored cameos. I didn't see any of that shit. So every cameo that happened in this movie was a complete surprise. Same. Why would I go out looking? Who's possibly gonna be like? Why would you do that to yourself? I don't get it.
Literally, when I was doing the research after watching for the episode, like they was listing like this actor reprised their role as this person.
Yeah,
like it's saying what's happening. I'm like, this is what? Why would you want to see this?
I don't know. It's crazy.
but whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, before we jump right into it, I just we'll mention the Deadpool 1 and 2. So this is the third, obviously, in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Deadpool 1 is really just his origin story.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy there. 2 is when we get, the time traveling aspect, and that's important for this movie because he starts time traveling right at the beginning. But
because he
did
gets
you like
cables.
those movies?
I did.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
he gets cables like watch that helps him transform. That's why we get that cool montage of him like shooting himself before he signs up to be like the Green Lantern.
Yeah,
and
that
all
was
that
funny.
stuff. And then even killing his old Deadpool that he
Yeah.
was back in that Wolverine movie that I didn't watch because I didn't like. I remember I watched one of the Wolverine movies and I was like, man, I don't want to like. These aren't good solo movies. I don't even know if you even watched
That
them
was
back in the day.
no, I definitely watched it. The
I
one
didn't
where
watch
he pulls up and his mouth is like sewed shut.
Yeah.
That was I'm trying to think of which one it was. It wasn't Wolverine's solo movie. It was an X-Men movie.
No, it wasn't. There was two
you're
Wolverine
right.
solo movies.
Yes, you're
One where
right.
he went to Japan, and then that one.
That one was good. I really like the Japan one. Origins, yeah. Yeah, that was with Will I Am in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Deadpool 1 and 2. What do you just general thoughts?
General thoughts, I liked them. Like to me, especially the first one, that was just like a game changer because to me that was the first time. I know there's been other rated R superhero movies, but besides Blade, that was the only other one that I've seen, and it wasn't comedy like that. So like to hear superheroes like cussing like that, and him even like have like the X-Men in there, and breaking the fourth wall, like that shit was just hilarious to me. Especially in the second one too, when it was just like I remember a specific scene when like he's like at like Xavier's like I guess academy or whatever you call it, Xavier's, and he was just like, "Oh, well, like it seems like you're just empty in this house." Almost like couldn't afford to get any other X-Men. Just like stupid shit like that, where it's just like, I just love the
and he does it so many times in this movie.
Oh
it's
yeah,
hilarious. Like he's referring to like Wolverine as Hugh, like as the actor. Like it's totally like he's an audience member, and it's amazing. Like it works so well. And like you said, in the first one, that's the first time we ever really seen that in the MCU. Well, I guess it wasn't MCU, but
oh yeah, true.
At that point, it wasn't
in
MCU,
Marvel,
but but in superhero movies, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked out great. The first one, and it was a good origin story. I love an origin story, especially when it's done well. And then the second one, I thought was all right. Like it was. Even the first two, like I said, I like kind of what they did, especially opening up, like you said, all the way they do their jokes and everything's totally different. But Ryan Reynolds, I don't know. I thought he was okay in the first two. I thought he was much better in this one. I thought he was landing jokes left, right, and center. I don't know if maybe that's recency bias because I just watched it. But I don't know. I think this one was funnier than the first two.
Okay, it's interesting. I don't agree personally, but I don't necessarily think that this one was like worse or anything. I think the second one is definitely weaker than the first one, obviously, because it usually happens with sequels anyway.
Yeah,
I think the second one was more. We got a bigger budget, so not then they actually threw in some like funny cameos in there. Like I don't even remember like Brad Pitt was in the second one.
Yeah,
like that little quick scene where he dies and it's like the Invisible Guy. It's like
Matt Damon's in that one too.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like, oh, we got a bigger budget. We can do a little more funnier things. As far as but it was kind of like we've seen these jokes. This is to another level because now we get Wolverine and like it was a little different because now we're in the MCU, so now you're getting to be in this world and make these jokes. So it was a little different, but yeah, two kind of very from like, okay, you're doing the same thing a little more on a bigger budget.
Yeah,
but I didn't hate it. It wasn't like this movie's bad. No. Yeah, and then the third one, the third one's better than the second one, but I'm in between if I like it better than the first one or not.
The first one, okay, yeah. Well, speaking of budget, this had a $200 million budget, and like we said, dripping in cameos. I wonder where most of that money went to.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of big names in this, but yeah. I mean, do you have anything else before you get going?
No, we can jump right into it.
All right, let's do it. So, the opening credits already amazing. Like these were freaking incredible. Like it's Deadpool. He's at Logan's grave from the end of Logan, the movie. And he's talking to the audience right away saying, how are we going to do this with Wolverine and not mess up, Logan's death? Well, we're not. We're just so he grabs the bones out of the grave and he's fighting off all these agents with
TSA or
adamantium
TVA. Yeah.
TSA.
Yeah, TVA.
They come with
TVA.
metal detectors. Hey,
I mean, they might as well
that
have.
bag's too big.
They might as well have. They got their ass kicked. They might as well.
I mean, what did you expect them to? Bro, this is the beginning of a movie. They're fighting Deadpool. These are goons. No one's ever gonna win that fight. Like if
No,
you're
but-
a goon, if you're a low level goon, you know you're gonna die. You can't. No, they don't
No.
take damage by low level goons. Come on.
No, you're right. But what I'm saying is they did them dirty because you already know that he's going to fight Deadpool. You got to give them a little more than those stupid little guns.
Okay,
Like they didn't give them much to even put up a fight.
fair enough. Yeah, you're right. Fair enough. And yeah, like I said, this is when he's calling him Hugh. And so
Yeah.
like right away he's breaking the fourth wall like crazy, and he's opening all this up. I'm like, this is perfect. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
hilarious. This is great. And this is to NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye, like the montage
Yeah.
as he's killing these guys in crazy ways. Like
Oh man.
he's got the bones using as nunchucks, and he's all this wild shit. It's amazing.
No, it's good. And I gotta jump right into it. This is what I was talking about earlier. This was my favorite scene. I know it's weird for like the opening
I thought
scene,
about it.
the opening scene to be like your favorite scene, but to me it's just like if you ever, I didn't come in with much doubts, but if you ever had the doubts, a little bit of doubt of like, okay, he's being in a DC movie. No, sorry, not DC, a Marvel movie. It's different than Fox. They're probably gonna make him push back a little bit on the jokes, and maybe it's gonna not be as much. But like this kind of just shattered that whole expectation of maybe they'll maybe make him a little not PG, but maybe like 14A kind of thing. But we start off like you said, like he's going right into his jokes. It's bloody as hell.
Killing people, super graphic,
Super vicious. He's dirty too. Like he's just
digging up a dead person.
oh my gosh.
Like,
And
yeah.
and I'll have to say, for those that didn't know, I was a huge NSYNC fan when I was a little kid. So I was a big NSYNC mark. So like when Bye 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 came on, I was like, okay, here we go. Here we go. That was just a cherry on top. And it was just, and again, to go with like the whole creativity of just how the title sequence, the credits were like incorporated into the killings.
Yeah.
Was just it was just perfect. So that it was great. I just
Yeah.
really love that opening scene.
Yeah, you're right. And I actually read a lot that they thought a lot about, and they did a lot of like research and testing and stuff to try and figure out how gruesome they wanted to get, how crazy they wanted to get with the jokes, like by introducing to the MCU. Because like you said, you have that expectation with the MCU that it's not that wild.
Yeah.
And they tried a few things. They had that like Christmas special with Deadpool, like, and they were
True.
seeing how it was received and all this stuff because they wanted to make sure that they didn't go too far or whatever. But however it happened, if Ryan Reynolds convinced them or whatever, they went full steam ahead, and it's
yeah.
right off the jump. It's amazing.
Oh, it's perfect.
So yeah, that's the opening scene. Then he's like, okay, I gotta let you know how we get here. So it's one of those. It's a slight flash forward. So we see him go back in time. He uses Cable's watch, like you had mentioned, to save Vanessa, who had died in the second movie. So he saves her. This is on top of the montage of all the other things. Like you said, kills himself with the Green Lantern script and all these great things. And then we get the meeting with Happy. So he's with Happy, and he wants to be an Avenger. And Happy's kind of, I don't know, they have a little back and forth. What do you think of this scene? It was
what were we gonna say?
well, I like that it set up his character kind of like it, because it sets up that later him and Vanessa aren't together. So
Yeah.
He's trying to get into the Avengers and he gets turned down. But I don't know. There were some funny parts at least.
No, it was, and you know what was interesting too? It really shows you how much Happy didn't, because I was digging to see, because they're really distinct when they showed the date of when it happened.
Yeah.
And that date was right when the Civil War was happening. Like that was right at Civil War. Like when the two teams, when all the teams broke up. So they didn't even want, that's why I think part of them is like, yeah, we still don't even want you. Even though the team's in disarray, like we still don't want you.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That's
like,
a good point. Like, because Iron Man is looking for people.
That's
He
what I mean.
gets that's when he gets Spider-Man. So he didn't want it. Yeah, damn.
But I guess to their point though, like he is a wild card. Like he doesn't follow any rules or anything. Like he's just doing whatever the heck he wants. Can't control him at all. So they didn't even want Ant-Man really, because he was a felon too. So it was
That's why he
really
ended up with Steve Rogers.
Yeah, no, I guess that's true. Another thing that I thought was funny in this scene is that like they showed the picture of. I mean, they showed like a bunch of things in this room. This room was full of like all these little things that have been throughout the MCU. But there's a picture. I saw this in a video, where they have a picture of Tony Stark. It's the picture of Tony Stark and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But they have the Iron Man mask covering Tom Holland's character, and I saw that was because the whole deal with Sony. And like they can only show him in a limited amount of time. So if they showed him in, that would have counted as a time of crediting him in a movie.
Okay.
So they really had to cover a picture of him. Or else that would have counted as, oh no, you used Tom Holland in this movie. Just so ridiculous.
I literally noticed that when I was like live when I was watching the movie. I was like, because we see the picture and it's prominent in, I think it's Endgame. Like Tony looks at the picture when he's thinking about doing the time travel thing. So like we know that it's that picture with Spider-Man with Tom Holland. And it was blocked out. I was like, I noticed they did it. I didn't know that was the reason though, but that makes sense. Like if you have him for 2 seconds in a picture and you wasted one of your appearances in a movie, like,
but is that really an appearance though? It's just a picture.
Well, if legally that's a credit, then
I guess so.
I get it.
Yeah, do you get paid for that if it's your face is in a movie? A lot of people would have got paid.
Would you let your face be in a movie for free?
No, but I mean in the sense of like they own your rights now.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's all the Fox rights. They still don't own Sony, guys.
I don't even know how that works.
I don't know either.
I have no idea. But they also make it clear that in this meeting it's Earth 616.
Yeah, true.
And it's the sacred timeline. And I have a question a little later on about this. But,
okay. Yeah.
So then we jump 6 years later and we're on Earth 10,005. And he's selling cars. He's at a used car salesman with Peter, our regular dude from Deadpool 2, who was in the X-Force. And then it's his birthday, so there's a little surprise party back at his apartment with the X-Force, like I said. So there's all the different people. Although there's not Domino. Yeah. Not sure why. Maybe probably a contractual thing again.
Oh, for sure.
And like you said, Brad Pitt, because he's the invisible guy. I was like, man, they didn't get Brad Pitt in there at all. I was looking for him, but
I know he died though. Remember he died.
Yeah, but they all died. This is a new Earth.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Remember in the second one, they
all
died.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, they didn't want to pay him again.
Yeah, they
didn't want to pay him. Maybe he was there, invisible.
I know. That's what I was thinking about. I was hoping they would leave like an empty chair or something, you know, like just for that, you know, like. But I didn't even notice. I mean, maybe he was there. You're right, just sitting in the corner somewhere. But I thought that I would have liked if they, like left an empty seat or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
And then so TVA then comes to the door. They say they've been watching him and they want to grab him. And at this point, there's a funny joke that I wrote down is when, because he pulls up, or sorry, the TVA agents pull up and they have like the sticks, and Deadpool's like, oh, pegging? Oh, yeah. That is a scary. Pegging isn't new for me, but it is for Disney. I was like, see, this is like right when they're making fun of themselves, and I was like, damn, this is crazy.
That was a good line too. No, that made me pop. That was hilarious. And just the wink at the camera too.
Yeah, it's so good.
And that whole scene, like he was getting so vulgar with those dudes. He's like, "You're gonna kiss me on the mouth," and I'm like, "Yeah." Disney's letting everything go. This scene alone, he'd been like, "So what do you guys think of this scene?" Because if all you gotta do is show this scene. If they're okay with that, then everything was good. Because that scene was wild.
100%. Exactly. Yeah. What do they call it? You overreach and then ask for forgiveness. Like, like asking for forgiveness is better than, I don't know, but it's amazing. It's just hilarious. So TVA scoops him up, brings them back to their base or their office, whatever. We meet Mr. Paradox. Yeah. And we see all the alternate Avengers timelines, and Thor hugs me. Oh, what happens in that one? I want to see what I did. That was funny. And they want to send him to the sacred timeline. And they talk about the anchor being, so that Wolverine's dead. So his timeline starts to decay because the anchor being's gone. This I thought was kind of stupid. I mean, an anchor being, obviously time travel is not real. Yeah. So they can kind of make whatever rule, you know, they can make it all up. But like, that was kind of a weak rule, I feel like.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like it's almost like a metaphor for just like the Fox franchise, I guess. He was the anchor being of like
Oh
if you
shit.
think about it, like as soon as they took him out of the like a couple of those movies were good too, like Days of Future Past and all that stuff. He had little cameos in a couple of those, but then as soon as he was completely out of them, the movie started to go to shit, and then there weren't any good X-Men movies. The
Yeah.
last two weren't good, so he kind of was the anchor to that franchise. It just
Yeah.
went downhill as soon as he left.
Especially like Hugh Jackman. Like I was thinking about this too. I was like, can you imagine? Like, there's gonna be a day
Yeah,
when he's not Wolverine anymore, and they're gonna do a reboot or something, and there's gonna be another Wolverine. It's gonna happen eventually.
yeah.
And when that day comes, like
That's gonna be
whoever that
weird.
is, like fuck him. Like I'm sorry, but like bro, like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah,
He's
I know,
been
it's-
in how many movies doing it? He kills in each one. Like he plays the drunk, angry, like bad guy side of him. Like I'm not a good guy. I'm not a hero. He
Yeah.
plays it amazingly, and in the action, he's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
And like he is Wolverine.
Yeah, no,
I
and
can't
it's like
see anyone else playing him.
me
I
neither.
can't.
I had this conversation with my dad too, and I even saw like a post earlier where it was like, there's been like I don't have the number completely right, but they were like, there's been like 18 Supermans, there's been 9
Yeah.
Batmans, there's been 3 Spider-Mans, but there's been 1 Wolverine. I'm like, yeah, that's insane. And people didn't like when any of those people switched for the most part. It was but for at least people that are still alive to talk about the older Supermans and Batmans. But like,
Yeah.
we've all been alive for all the Spider-Mans, and there's a battle, but who's the best? Who's the best? There's been 1 Wolverine, and like, there's not even really anything you can. Even the side characters had multiple people, because even like Days of Future Past, everyone got replaced with younger people. And
Well,
even,
I don't think all of them.
for them, yeah, there's a young Cyclops, there's a young Xavier, there's a young Magneto.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
that's what I mean. Everyone got like, we got to see a different version of all this, so it's a little more fresh. Okay, we've seen that person look as a different person. They never even tried to make a
Yeah.
younger version of him.
And it's funny because he like Ryan Reynolds even says is they're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
Yeah,
because he's doing it over and over. It's so funny, but I mean, in Days of Future Past, to be fair, he only has a little cameo. Remember, they're like
Yeah.
recruiting the team, or not
Yeah,
Days
yeah.
of Future Past. This is First Class, and then
Yeah.
they go to the bar and he says "fuck off," but
yeah,
I think it's also because of the character, right? Like, does he really age?
yeah.
So I
that's
think it's
true.
easier to kind of like work him into different timelines, and he always
That's
looks the
true.
same. But
No, it's true. And then he's in Days of Future Past. Like, he's got a big
Yeah.
role in that movie.
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And those 2 movies were really good. And then as they kept going, the movie slowly started to go down. He was the anchor.
He's the anchor being. That's
Yeah.
right. Their timeline started to decay. Their studio started to decay. They need a
Yeah,
studio
the
Ripper.
money.
Yeah.
Money started to decay.
So the Ripper, yeah. So this is what they tell him next, that they're building this machine that'll just like destroy the timeline, so they don't have to wait 2,000 years for it to decay. They just blow it up right away.
Mhm.
So he's like, oh fuck, all my fucking friends are gonna die.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm gonna save them. I'm gonna mean something.
Mhm.
But then he gets suited up. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
That was funny too. And like there's all the ass slaps. And like there's like in the opening scene, even like he's doing when he's dancing a bye bye bye, there's all
Yeah.
like the provocative dancing. And then
Mhm.
there's the ass slaps. I thought it was just whatever.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
when he
him
walks
slapping
in,
himself.
but then when he walks in and says, "Hey, I think your Taylor's a predator," that fucking killed me.
Yes.
I was, when he said that, I thought it was just ass slaps. It was just
Yeah.
gonna happen, and we weren't
Yeah.
gonna talk about it. But that was the Taylor the whole time slapping him in the ass. That killed me.
like 5 times too. Just so many times.
That
No,
was super
good, too.
funny.
No, that was hilarious.
So he steals the machine that Paradox has. He punches him in the nose, grabs the machine, and he goes back to the opening credit scene. So this is when he goes to go to Logan's grave,
Yeah.
because he wants to get another Logan, bring him to the timeline, and that's how he'll save the timeline.
Yeah.
But this is my question, and
Yeah.
bro, I've thought about this since I've watched the movie, which was
Okay.
on Friday night,
Okay.
and we are now Sunday. So like
Yeah.
2 days, I've been thinking
Yeah.
about this.
Okay.
Can't come up with the answer. Hopefully, you know the answer.
All right.
So
let's go.
in the meeting with Happy, right? So they say it's Earth 616,
Okay.
and he tries to get in the Avengers, can't do it.
Yeah.
And then we skip to the other Earth, and Wolverine's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But then he takes the machine and goes to Earth 616
Yeah.
to get, but that's where Logan is dead. So Logan died in both those timelines? There's 2 dead Logans?
Wait, they said Logan was dead in 616?
Well, isn't that the timeline that Logan from the movie died?
I don't think so.
So when he grabs that machine, then where is he? Is he just teleporting to the place in that same universe?
That's a good
Because
question.
if not, what's the point of the 616 thing?
That's a good point. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Like if he's on Earth 616 talking to Happy, and then the whole rest of the movie takes place in Earth 10,005, what was the point of being in Earth 616?
Well, just because he wanted to be an Avenger. Like that
Yeah, but-
him initially being like Tim talking to Happy, I mean.
Yeah, but why is that in 2 different universes?
I don't know. Well, because I don't know. I didn't realize that. I didn't take it like that. Like Wolverine was in 616 and he died in that one. I didn't take it like I just took it as there was another universe and he was in that one. He went to find Wolverine in that universe because there wasn't one in the 616 one. But he knew about Wolverine. But he knew about, and he also knew about the Avengers. Because then they weren't even. I don't know how he knew about the Avengers though. If they're not in his universe, how did he even know about them? That was also my thing too.
So you think he went to a different universe to try and join that universe's Avengers? Is that what it was?
Because I don't think they had enough. Did he ever mention the Avengers in the? now we're just riffing.
I actually have no
I
idea.
have no idea. That's a good
Yeah, I don't
question.
know.
You stumped me on that one. I actually
Like literally
I don't know.
to me, if they never mentioned Earth 616 and Earth 10,005, then I would have just assumed they're both in the same universe, and that still works the exact same, right? Because when at the surprise party, you know, we see that him and Vanessa aren't together anymore. Like he saved her, and then we find out that once he was not with the Avengers, he got turned down by the Avengers, and then he kind of like started to decline, and that's when their relationship broke up.
Yeah.
So that happened in Earth 10,005. So does that mean the same meeting happened in both universes too? Like, what's the point of the 2 different universes?
You might have to watch it. Yeah.
In Earth 10,005, they break up, and she says when the Avengers turned you down. But that meeting was in Earth 616. So what?
Maybe he told her about it. That's
the same Deadpool, and that was when he was bouncing through different. How is he bouncing through different universes? He has a time machine, but not a universe machine.
That's a good point. Could you not go through different universes, or was it only time?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. It just confused me. Like it didn't ruin the movie or anything.
No, for sure.
It confused me, and I thought maybe you'd have an answer, but I guess you're just as stupid as I am.
Yeah.
Or just as smart as I am. Let's say that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just go move on. Let's move on. I don't want to.
Yeah, we spent enough time on
Yeah.
Hey, if anybody knows, send us a DM or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. We'll
leave in the comment section somewhere.
And so when he goes back to the opening credit scene, there was a sword bounce kill because there was always we saw the whole opening credit. So he killed like all those guys, but there was one guy left, and he's holding his sword, and he kind of like bounces off the ground right into his head. I was like, damn, that was a nasty one. I wrote that one.
Yeah,
down.
that was rough. Yeah, that was good though. I like that.
There was another hilarious joke in the TVA office.
Yeah,
when he walks in from getting suited up, and one of the workers is like eyeing him down, like he's kind of in love with him or whatever. He's like, yeah, this guy gets it. I look amazing. Yeah. What are you calling your wife? Calling HR. Does your wife work HR? That took me out. That would kill me.
There was another throwaway line too that I thought was funny too. Just like when he first woke up, and he's like, "It seems like you soiled your pants when you were unconscious." Like I wasn't unconscious, and then he just kept talking. Like it wasn't acknowledged afterwards. I mean, when he shit his pants, conscious.
Yes, I think yes. He just So then we get the Logan montage.
Oh yeah,
which is great. Good. We see all these different kinds of Hugh in different universes being Wolverine. We even see Henry Cavill as one of the Wolverines. That was sick. When I saw that, I was like, could you imagine Henry Cavill as Wolverine? I think he would be pretty good.
Oh yeah. And then we were talking about saying I don't know who could see him. It'd also be another weird thing too, where like, we see this guy Superman for so long. Now he's gonna be Wolverine. But no, that is a great fit. He's massive though. He's even way bigger than Hugh. And Hugh got pretty ripped for all those movies.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's like a truck. He's completely
huge.
giving up on the on the actual comic book accurate size of Wolverine, like we got to see.
Just swole Wolverine. We got to come up with a name with each other because there's one where he's in the casino gambling. He's got this fresh white suit.
Oh yeah.
And the eye patch. Maybe that's your fit check. I thought about it for mine. Spoiler, it's not. But
yeah.
it was dope.
No, it was dope.
Then he finds the shitty Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
And his like claws come out like 2 inches. And I was like, oh, that's all it could do. What the fuck? I thought it was funny. The short little tiny Wolverine.
Oh fuck yeah. There's some cool ones in there too. Like ones that this one took me back to because a lot of these the little cameo of Wolverines are either comics that I've read or cartoons that I've watched. Like the Hulk versus Wolverine one, I literally have that DVD. Like the animated, and I was like, oh snap. I was like, they got me so hyped. I was like, we're never gonna see this, but they teased it.
Yeah.
And then even the old man Wolverine too. That's like a really huge comic book too. Just like briefly when he was wearing like the cowboy hat and he was all just shot him.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah. This is what this movie did a lot too. Like it's comedy and fan service.
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the cameos, all the different characters that they bring back, and the way they just show they jam pack it full of fan service. It's like No Way Home. You know, remember Spider-Man? Like so many references to other movies and other timelines 100%. Of the characters. And it's great. Like when you're watching the movie, it's especially like for the shock value, like when you watch it the first time. But I feel like this is the kind of thing that doesn't lend well to like a rewatch. Like once you've seen it, like and you're rewatching it, you're like, man, is this movie actually that? Like that's what I think of No Way Home. Like the movie's not actually that great, but there's all this fan service that like is nostalgia driven, and it just feels so good and it's so exciting to see. But
and with me, I saw No Way Home I saw it 3 times. And there's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but it's not a good rewatch.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. I was thinking the exact same thing when I walked out of this too. And I was like, man, like, I don't know if it's as much as a great rewatch, but the first watch was great.
Yeah. The first
I'll
watch.
say that.
And I think what would lend well to the rewatch for this movie is because it's funny.
Yeah.
Like in No Way Home, like
it's not really funny.
It's not funny. There might be a couple jokes in there, but this one is nonstop. And not every single one I thought was hilarious, but a lot of them landed. And and it's just really funny. So even if you're rewatching it, even if you've seen the cameos and everything, and you know what's coming, it's still funny. So I think it would be good in that sense.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That helps it.
That was my exact thought too. I was like, No Way Home didn't have the humor that this had.
Yeah,
that would lend to this was good. This is actually a really enjoyable movie.
Yeah, exactly. And so when he finds shitty Wolverine, he even says, you know, you're gonna come help me out or whatever. We're at the MCU. You're kind of joining at a low point.
Oh, yeah.
When he said that, like all these times when he's bashing the MCU and stuff, I'm like, I mean, he's right. Like, MCU's been trash since Endgame. Like, I haven't even watched like pre-Endgame. You had to see everything.
Oh,
and almost everything
mattered, and everything mattered too.
Yeah, but now there's all the TV shows and like half the movies I haven't even watched.
That's how they screwed themselves with the TV shows. They watered themselves down. I think.
Yeah,
way too much. It's like, wait, I gotta watch 8 episodes of this, 10 episodes of this, 10 episodes of this, and watch a TV show. Maybe if we're in high school, we'd have nothing to do. But not dissing any high school kids if you're listening. Yeah. But I'm just saying, when you're grown, it's too much.
You got other things to do, man.
Yeah, and you like watching other things, sports.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny too that like later on the when they mention one of the like the big monster in the void that eats, he's like, oh,
Elias,
things in here from Loki season
episode 5.
Episode 5. That was funny.
That was good.
So he brings Wolverine to the TVA. He says, here's your Wolverine, here's your anchor being, we're good. And he says, no, that's not how it works, and you're messing everything up. So they send them to the void.
Yeah,
Wolverine and Deadpool, that's how they end up. So it's the big wasteland. And it's funny, he references Mad Max.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is kind of like Mad Max. And that's literally what I was thinking when I first saw it. And there's like the 20th Century Fox logo that's like buried. And another little funny little Easter egg. And they start fighting because they get pissed off. And I was literally like, why are they doing this? They can't die. Like,
I know.
Like watching 2 healers fight, there's like Wolverine has like 3 swords sticking out of him and he's still fighting. It's funny though. It's good.
And they fight a lot too.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, what's the point?
Exactly.
You know the shitty thing for both of them though is that they can feel pain, and you can clearly see that because every time. So that sucks also.
I literally had this in my notes for what, like when they fight in the van. I was like,
oh yeah,
because like at that point in the movie, I was like, wait, they can feel pain, right? Like I like comic books, but I'm not like, I don't know every fact about every hero and know everything about their comic. So I was like, but they could feel pain, right? So this stuff would still hurt like a bitch,
which sucks.
Jesus,
because they get especially Deadpool, he gets fucked up.
He gets stabbed in the head multiple times, like through his brain, like Jesus Christ.
In the second movie, his head comes off, so like he's feeling,
he blows himself up.
That's disgusting. Yeah, that's messed up. He feels all the. I don't know if Wolverine does though, because he maybe he's just so tough he doesn't react to it. But every time, even Deadpool hits his finger, he's swearing. So he feels everything.
Yeah, I really don't know. I think they feel pain because sometimes Wolverine gets stabbed in the back and you see him like, oh
yeah, that's true.
Like it's like it hurts. I think he feels it.
It sucks.
So they stop fighting when Deadpool's like, all right, let's chill out.
Yeah,
let's go. Let's find a way back to the TVA and we can maybe fix your world because he said his world's all fucked up. He messed everything up. So that's how they get together and they team up. So this is when the gang pulls up, a whole bunch of like riders and whips, and this point I was like, okay, this is Mad Max.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
The cars, and they got the music going and the cage. I was like, this is literally Mad Max.
Yeah, 100%.
They even make a Furiosa joke.
Yeah, no, exactly. Which is wild because the Mad Max movie came out this year too. So they're probably looking at like cheese, like damn.
Yeah, I was like, this is literally Mad Max, but it was cool. Then so there's a mysterious hooded figure, and so it's Chris Evans, and we're like, oh shit. I was like, okay, Cap's here.
Yeah, because he did the Superman. That's not the Superman, the superhero landing.
Yeah. We're like, okay, Cap's here. Shit, that's lit. We're gonna see what happens. And then he says, "Flame on." I was like,
oh yeah, I got lit. I was like,
that was sick.
Yeah, I got hyped. I didn't see it coming too. I thought that was Cap.
Not even a little bit.
Just like you, I was like, oh, that's Cap.
Exactly. I was certain. I was like, okay, he even had like a white, like red, white, and blue like sleeve on or something.
Yeah.
I think it like, so I was like, okay, it's Cap. We'll see. I was excited to see what happens.
Yeah, same.
And the cameo was still cool. And then he goes flame on, and I was like, okay, this is fucking dope.
Yeah. But part of me in the back of my head, I was like, wait, why is Cap in the void? He died. Well, he didn't die. No, he didn't die. I mean, he's alive. Spoilers. But he's just old.
Yeah.
So I was like, why is he young in the void? So part of me was like, okay, doesn't make any sense. I just still didn't question. I was like, okay, whatever. It's just a comedy movie. And then we said flame on, like you said, I was like, I got so lit.
I was like, because this also means, like we were talking about with the Doctor Doom, like the Fantastic Four, are they going to be involved there with Victor?
Yeah.
We're going to find out. It's going to be lit though.
Yep.
So they get captured by a big ass magnet, and they get locked up.
The saber-tooth fight.
Oh, well, I did. All right, go ahead.
We've all been waiting.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me the rundown of the saber-tooth fight.
So the fight we've all been waiting for, 20 years in the making, lasted 5 seconds, and Wolverine just freaking cut his head off
instantly.
Did
you think it was gonna be a big ass fight? Like, were you surprised?
Hyped it in the trailer. So it was a funny twist. I wasn't mad. Like, damn, how did they do that? This is a comic book now. I laughed. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
I didn't expect it to go long because I'm like, bro, this is Wolverine. Like, what is Sabretooth doing to Wolverine, man? Come on.
They fought in the past.
I don't care, man.
They fought like in Wolverine. 2 movies, and he's never killed him like that.
Get out of here, Sabretooth.
All the Sabretooth fans are gonna go tweet at him.
All 4 of them. Yeah, come get me, guys.
Go get him in the comments, guys.
Sorry, I just Sabretooth. Bummed. So they get locked up with Johnny Storm, the human what is it? Human Torch? Yeah, Human Torch. And he's the exposition machine. He tells us about Eliath, which is the big monster that comes, and that's where everyone's running away from. Yeah, and there's the woman that they all work for. We don't know who it is yet. Yeah. But then there's some rebels in the borderlands. So Deadpool and Wolverine, they're like, okay, we're gonna find those guys, find our way back to TVA, and so we know what we're doing for the rest of the movie, at least.
No, it's true. I also got to put some respect on the guy that captured it. It was Pyro. Pyro's from the X-Men. Yeah. And at first I didn't realize it was Pyro, but then it made sense when Johnny Blaze or Human Torch, when Johnny tried to use his powers on him. I was like, wait, why isn't his powers working? I was like, oh, because another fire guy.
Yeah,
Just fire
he
on
was
fire.
yeah he was so like casual. He shot the fire at him. He just stuck his hand up
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
blocked it all. He was like, man, what are you doing?
He's like, dog, we got the same power.
Yeah, he's like, stop this.
Yeah.
Stop this. So we got back to they get brought to the base in Ant-Man's body, and we meet Cassandra Nova, so Xavier's twin.
Yeah.
When they kind of reveal her like through the back of her head, it was bald. I was like, did they get Patrick Stewart again?
Yeah, I
like
know.
this poor guy, man. It's like Hugh, like he's literally been doing this till he's 90.
Yeah.
I was like, this poor man, let him rest. But no, it's Nova. They talk, and this is like I'm saying, like not a lot happened. Like
No.
for the plot, nothing really happens in the scene. But they're talking. Deadpool's cooking. He's roasting the shit out of her. It's amazing, and he's blaming it all on Johnny.
Oh
so
yeah,
she
he said
kills
she was
him.
talking shit. Yeah, he said he was talking shit, which we're gonna pay off for later.
Yeah, that was great.
That was
that
funny.
was great.
Okay, so you stayed. Maybe you didn't stay.
No, of course.
There were some
bro, you
noobs
gotta
that
stay.
left right when the movie ended. I was like, these guys are.
I know.
You're
I'm
brand
like-
new to Marvel.
I'm like, how far are we into the MCU? And how do you like? Do you not know, or do you just not care?
Yeah, maybe it's. I hope it's the second one. I
Yeah.
hope it's the second one.
Yeah, it was good though, because sometimes you wait, and I don't actually know what movie it is, but one of the movies you wait, and it's like Captain America, and he comes back, and he's like, sometimes you can wait so long for something, and the payoff can be so little,
Oh yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it was
that's what-
funny, but that they did it, but like,
yeah.
this was good.
No, it was good.
So she goes into Deadpool's head, does this like hand.
Oh
in the
yeah,
head. This
that
was
shit
this is crazy.
disturbing.
Yeah, yeah.
Every
So
time she did it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, she messes with his memories. So we see the breakup with Vanessa. Like we said, she's saying you'll never fucking matter. You'll never matter. So he's like, no, that's not how it went down. So we know at least that they broke up, like I said before, that once he got turned down by the Avengers, he started kind of declining, and I guess they drifted apart. But the you'll never matter, apparently she never said that. So it's been played with a little bit by Nova, but at least we get that reason. Because when we were at the party and I saw that they weren't together, I was like, oh fuck, wonder what happened. So at least we got a little bit of an explanation.
Yeah.
And then they get away on a jetpack boot thing. and-
Oh, I realized what it was too, and it makes sense why
Okay.
Wolverine went to it. It was a Sentinel leg. Like I don't know if you know what the Sentinels are.
Oh, from Days of Future Past.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
why he
shit.
immediately knew. He was like, "Oh, it's one of their legs. I know there's a rocket." So because he went to it instantly. It's like he knew
Yeah.
because like he would know what those are. And I was like, "Oh, it's
I
a
didn't,
nice
I didn't really
little
even
touch."
think twice about it. I was like, okay, they're blasting off again, whatever.
Yeah.
I was sure.
But
But
that was a Sentinel
that's-
leg.
oh, okay, nice.
Nice little thing.
Yeah, yeah. So this is when Eliath comes. So everyone starts freaking out, and that's how they get away. And then they find a diner. So that was
some
there.
random diner. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. Someone sent a diner to the void. It was messing up with the timeline. No, these eggs are too fucking incredible. We gotta send you to the void. You're messing with the timeline. This eggs and bacon is insane.
I'm sure there's like
So-
some Easter egg we just didn't get. I'm sure.
Oh,
of
maybe.
it. It's probably.
Yeah,
is.
I mean, like I've said, there's a bunch of movies and shows that I haven't seen. So
Yeah,
there
so there's
probably
probably
are
from
little things that
something.
I've missed.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then, so Logan. This is when Logan he's asking Deadpool about how his Logan died because he wants to die. I think he's like, oh shit, your Logan died. Like he's talking about how shitty his life is, how he ruined everything. So that's I think kind of what he was getting at.
Yeah.
And they want to find the Resistance. And then other Deadpool shows. I don't know what his name is.
Nice pool.
Nice Pool.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice Pool. And what is it? Pooch Pool or
Dog pool.
Dog? Is it just Dog Pool?
It's just
Okay.
dog pool. Yeah.
Why did I think it was Pooch Pool?
I don't know because that's like how they do their double letters like that. Peter Parker and all that shit.
Oh
Maybe
yeah, true.
Bill PP.
Maybe it should have been Pooch Pool.
Maybe it should have been. Dog pool seems kind of lame to be honest.
You think so?
They didn't try that hard.
Yeah,
They
no.
give
you're
him really
right.
a name, but
Yeah, it should be Pooch Pool. Come on.
yeah. All right, petition.
So yeah, so they pull up. They have a couple funny little jokes. He gives them their van. He gives them his van.
Yeah.
And then we get some car jitsu. They start fighting
Oh, yeah.
inside. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen
Or
that.
do you know what it is? That's
No, I
really
do
what I
know,
was thinking
yeah.
when it was happening. I was waiting. I thought I thought it would have been funny if they did a little like reference to it, like if they both started with their seatbelts
Oh,
on. And they
yeah,
both,
yeah.
you know, like they do in the. I've just seen clips, but
Hmm.
I thought it would have been funny.
No, I thought exactly as soon as he put the seatbelt around his neck too, made me think of it.
Yeah,
Because exactly what they do in there, which it's a wild sport.
yeah, I know, that's crazy. So they start fighting like crazy because Hugh, or I keep saying Hugh because that's what Deadpool kept saying.
Oh
but
yeah.
Wolverine starts talking too much shit, and Deadpool gets mad, so they scrap like crazy. This scene is fucking
Oh
nuts.
yeah, it's freaking brutal, man. It's
Oh
so
my God.
bloody and vicious. Cause Wolverine gets cheesed because he told him that like, oh, I'll be able to save your timeline, and he says the word if, and then he stops the car. He's all
Yeah.
pissed. He's like, what? Well, I'm making an educated wish, and that's what sets him off. He's like, because he thought he knew. He was just saying,
Yeah.
well, I hope they could help us, and
Yeah.
that's what gets him pissed. And they start just going at it.
Yeah, and then so they fall asleep, and then someone comes and drives away. I was like, this car is working?
Yeah,
Like they destroyed the shit out of this. You could just turn it on and drive away.
Oh, was it a Kia? I can't even remember what it was. Or a Honda? I can't remember.
Yeah. I think it was a Kia.
Because at
I don't
first they
know.
shit on it. I'm like, what company would want to be shit on in a movie like this? But then they say, well, this car still holds up. So I'm like, okay, there's their get back.
Yeah, you're right. The most durable car in the MCU. Kia,
exactly,
baby.
exactly.
Yeah, so someone drives them away. We're like, oh shit, we don't know who is that. And then we get our Omega cameos.
Oh
and
my goodness.
This was lit. So Wesley Snipes pulls up.
Oof.
I was like, that's fucking dope.
Well, we
Jennifer
get Electra
Garner.
first. We got Electra first. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
no,
I went off in the order, but Wesley Snipes got me the most hype.
Oh,
so that's
yeah.
kind of why I said it first. Yeah, we get Jennifer Garner, we get Electra, we get Wesley Snipes, we get Blade, and then we get Channing Tatum as Gambit. And that accent, bro. I mean,
oh my god.
Deadpool even makes the joke. He was roasting his linguist or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, what is this? Like, is he? I was like, it literally as he kept talking, I was like, is he supposed to be French? Is he supposed to be?
He's supposed
Jamaican?
to be French. Yeah, I know.
Bro, let me tell you, because later on when they're in the big fight, someone hits him or something, and he's like, you shouldn't have done that. I was like, bro, that's literally Jamaican. Like, what is that supposed to be? It's so bad.
I think it was supposed to be bad. I think they
yeah,
like,
yeah. You're right.
Yeah. No, bonus. Even when they're in the car and he like Deadpool was like translating for him, and he's like, and what Gambit said was, "We're gonna do this."
It's so bad, dude. Like,
It's
like
so
you're right.
bad.
I think it's supposed to be bad, but like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it was
Oh,
terrible.
no, it's horrible. And I gotta jump. Oh, sorry, you say?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I gotta jump in again and say that my six man, because later on in the show, for anyone that's new to us, we have an award show where we list all our awards, our favorite. We had 6 awards. I already said my best scene was the opening scene, and I have to say just straight up, because this scene got me so lit. Because again, like I said, I had no spoilers for me. So when Blade pulled up, I got so freaking hyped. Like the dude beside me got so hyped too. It was almost like we had like a moment where we like looked at each other like, no way, no
Did you
way,
guys
this
high
is
five?
happening.
Did you guys high
Almost.
five?
It was almost like it's like you see it and like you look around to see if this is actually happening. Because I did not expect that in a million years. I did not think, because to me it's just so random to have Blade in there. It's nothing to do with really anything. But I was like, yo, I got so lit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got so lit
That's
for
why
that.
I said that's why I said him first. He was the one I got most excited for
100%.
too. I was like,
Yeah.
this is fucking dope.
Like what?
Blade is here. Yeah, bro. The theater I was in, there was a lot of points where people were literally like cheering, like going crazy.
Oh, yeah,
It
people
was,
cheered for this.
yeah, it was sick.
It was like you heard like Stone Cold's music hit in a Royal Rumble or something. People,
Whoa.
people went absolutely nuts when Blade hit the screen.
And
I felt bad
this-
for Electra because no one really popped like that.
Yeah, no one cared. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I literally just passed over it.
I was
like,
cool.
hey,
Yeah, I think
no.
it's cool. Yeah.
I mean, she's from Daredevil, and that movie sucked. Like,
yeah, she had her own singles movie too. I never
I
saw
know,
that.
but I
know,
exactly. I've never even seen it.
I just remember her from Deadpool. That was a crazy thing. I didn't know she had
Because
her own.
literally, I saw her there. I was like, because I saw Wesley Snipes. I was like, I know he's been Blade, so I was like, okay, this is Blade. And then I saw, I mean, she was obviously Elektra, but I was like, this. I'm guessing that the actors, like Jennifer Garner, I'm guessing this is significant. And then later Googling, I was like, okay, yeah, she had her own movie and she was Elektra. Like,
That's
but
rough.
it was. I
Because
mean,
kids,
like
we
you said,
didn't even
who's
watch.
seen that movie, dude? This scene was hilarious too. Like Deadpool is cooking. Like Ryan Reynolds is cooking in this scene. Like I wrote one of the jokes. He's like, man, this is like when this is like if Pinocchio jammed his face in my ass and started lying like crazy. I was like, oh my god.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one. And like the whole hoping the fourth person is Magneto, because he's like, oh, the 3 of you. They're like, oh, there's 4 of us. He's like, is it Magneto? No,
like,
he's dead. fuck. Well, do you have his helmet? No, she destroyed that. Fuck. That was killing me.
Oh, that was good too. Oh yeah, and shout out X-23 because she ended up being, which that was a cool. I knew
She's the
she was gonna
fourth
be because
one,
I think
yeah.
she was in one of the trailers, so that wasn't
Was
a
she?
surprise. I
I
think
didn't know.
I think I saw her in a trailer, like it was a really brief one. Which again, it was
Okay.
still cool though.
Yeah, it was cool.
I forgot when. I forgot that she was. I was like, oh yeah, she's
She
in
was
it.
so like tall and grown up. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
how long ago was Logan?
That's what I was
Bro,
thinking
I literally
too.
thought, I was like, holy shit, she was a child in Logan. She looks like an adult.
That's
She's,
what
I don't know how old she is in this movie, but she looks way older. I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
how
she's
long.
grown. I don't know.
When was Logan?
Like I think it was 2000. Like maybe it was 2017. So I guess it's a while ago. 7 years. That is a while.
Yeah, I guess. But how
Yeah.
old was she in Logan, do you think?
She
She
was-
was maybe like 10?
She must have been. Well, I don't know. She looks grown.
Around 10?
I
So
don't
she
know.
could be like 17 now. I could
Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
about that. But yeah, that kind of that was a little jarring. So yeah, after all these jokes and all this craziness, they agree to team up to fight Nova.
Mhm.
So then we get a little Logan and Laura scene. This was nice, like because Logan is her dad, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
she kind of had that connection. This is Logan from a different universe, but
Yeah.
it was still a cool scene, and he kind of tells us a lot more about why his world's so fucked up, why he's so depressed. You know, he says that he didn't join the X-Men even though they asked him to, and then they were all killed while he was drunk, and he showed up and found them all after the fact, and that's why, you know, that then the world didn't have any X-Men in his universe.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about the scene? Did you like it? not like
I
it?
just looked it up. She's 19. That was the only thing. That was a quick
Okay.
Google search. That
Okay.
made it easy for the people listening. Like you guys don't have to search now, and now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so I guess
got
she was
you.
12. She was 12 at the time, and I guess that would be a big jump. Like when we were 12 years old, and you take
To
a look.
19?
Yeah, to
Yeah.
19. That is a huge jump. You would look completely different. Oh, she
Yeah.
doesn't look completely different. Just like she looks grown now.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I didn't have anything else with that. Actually, it's the only thing I'd say that's kind of funny is the fact that like, because Deadpool said, "Oh, are you gonna tell me now? Or are you gonna wait till like a third act flashback?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Bro, they're not gonna do a flash. You don't want to have to pay all those people to be in the movie again. You're just gonna tell the story, bro. Just tell the story."
Well, there's more to the story though, and in the third act flashback when
Yeah, that's true.
Nova goes in his head, so we
Yeah,
do
that's
see
true.
where. So it's a little bit of both, I guess. They do.
Yeah,
But you're right, that was funny. Like that's what I mean. Like all the movie cliches that he's talking about,
Yeah.
and like it's so good, man. It's just hilarious.
yeah, and he even acknowledges the exposition in some of the times too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, so much exposition."
Is that enough for the audience going to be able to handle that?
Yeah,
or-
exactly.
Yeah, it's
It's
good.
like calling us out. He already knows.
Yeah,
we're-
fuck you. So we see then Mr. Paradox call Pyro,
Yeah.
and you know so Pyro says he's gonna kill Cassandra, and I was like, oh okay, we got this bum guy, like he's one of her goons, right? Like I said earlier in the episode, you're a goon, you're not doing damage to a
Yeah.
main character, it's not
No.
happening, bro. So they all pull up to bring him out. Yo, when Bring Him Out started
Oh
playing,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
bump, bump, bump.
I
Bring
didn't
Him
know
Out,
about
bro.
that,
Yo,
too.
I was getting hype, man.
So did
They're
I,
in the
man.
whip coming down this busted ass van, but Bring Him Out and T.I. starts spinning. I was like, yo,
Oh
this
my
is
goodness.
sick.
I legit feel like this movie was made just like if you were a little kid in the 2000s, or if you were
It's
like
perfect.
a teenager, it's just like because I really wonder like I gotta ask my dad. I mean, maybe he's listening because he said he saw the movie. I'm like, did it hit the same for you, Dad? Like I know you watch all those movies when you're a little older. Like we watch these as kids, so like I think it's like
Yeah.
what like it's crazy.
To me, it was like the music, like
Oh yeah,
like when Jay-Z comes on. And he has his little like intro to that song. I was
Yeah,
like,
Bring 'Em Out.
okay, this
Yeah.
is about to be fucking fire. And it was dope.
No, it was dope.
Yeah, so they pull up. Then we have the big ass mutant fight. So they all start fighting. Crazy action. This is pretty dope.
Yeah,
We see all of our heroes, like we said, the cameos. So we see Gambit, we see Elektra, we see Blade,
yeah,
X-23. Everyone's fighting. It's pretty sick. They get inside. So Deadpool and Wolverine.
yeah. We get
And
that.
this is when.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, just like a quick thing. I'll just say we had the cool spot of just like X-23 putting on the glasses she rocked.
Yeah,
in.
that was cool.
That was like a little moment. I was like, oh, she's like glasses she stole in Logan when they went to the store. I was like, oh, she still kept them.
They'll still fit her,
Yeah, I know.
right?
I get maybe
She's
they were
so
big at the
much
time.
grown
Yeah,
now,
that's
but-
true. That's true. I didn't take that in.
So this is when Nova gets into Logan's head, like I
Yeah.
said. So we learn a little bit more. he says that he went on a killing spree. Basically, like he got pissed off when he saw all the X-Men died.
Yeah.
So he went on a killing spree, killed not just all the bad guys, but the good guys too.
Yeah.
And turned the whole world against the X-Men. So now we're like, okay, his world has gone to shit, and it's because of him.
Yeah.
And so it's important for his character arc because there's the redemption later, and so I like that they added this in because like when we did Coming to America, like that was an example of a comedy movie that we were saying, there can be comedies where there's not much going on with characters or anything like that, but this is an added thing to actually make the movie mean something.
Yeah.
And it's not just about jokes.
No, yeah.
So I like that.
No, I like it too. And it also gives context to earlier because when we first see him, he's at the bar. The bartender's like, "You're not welcome here," and like to our knowledge, like, why would he not be welcome here? Because until then, it's like, hey, wait, all the X-Men died. Why are you being so hard on him? But he clearly knows that like you killed a lot of people, and everyone knows it, but no one can do anything about it because you're Wolverine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is crazy that he's still telling him you're not welcome here, bro. If he's in my bar, do whatever you want. You could cut me in half. I know he's killing everybody.
Yeah, he's already been on a killing spree.
Yeah.
He said, fuck you, adamantium bones. I'll take you.
Exactly. I was like, this guy's
That's
brave.
a good point.
I don't know why he was so brave.
But I mean, he'd obviously also been clearly drinking there for a while because he's like, give me one more drink. So he's already at least had one.
Yeah, true.
And then that's when you're like, fuck you, you're not welcome. Already given one drink.
Yeah, I know.
Well, how come after you? Fuck you. You killed all those people. You're only allowed one drink in here. One drink maximum for you, asshole.
Yeah, I got a 1 drink minimum for killers.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot exceed it.
You cannot have a second one. Fuck you. Get out of my bar. So they get Juggernaut's helmet on Nova. So her blocks her powers.
Yeah.
And then this is when Pyro comes in, blasts her. So she's dying. And they need to then take the helmet off because they're like, if she doesn't have her helmet, she's about to die. If she dies, we can't get out of here. So they convince her to not kill him when he takes the helmet off because she's like, as soon as you take the helmet off, I'm
gonna kill you. Yeah, he's like, Deadpool's like, why are you like this?
Yeah, that was funny. I like that because I liked if they would have like if it was just cliche if they're like, take the helmet off and she's just like, okay, now I'll help you. Like they actually made
like
it
some
legit,
Fillmore
like, no,
shit
I'm
or
going to
something.
kill you.
Yeah, like have like a Fillmore pep talk, and then she'll be like, you know what? I'm right. You're right. I changed my ways. Oh, bullshit. But nah, she was just
take
like,
this helmet off, that chicken gonna be dry.
I knew you were gonna
Real dry.
Deadpool should have done on his way out, just for like the 3 people that would have
that
got
would
it.
have been so good.
And that chicken was dry, real dry, and they jumped through the. Even if 3 people get that listening to this podcast right now.
No, man.
Joke for 2. Joke for 2.
Let us know. No, I have more faith in our audience, man. People are gonna get that joke. If you know, you know. But nah, that was lit. Fillmore, bro, was an OG in that scene. Shorty was trying to get with him. He's like, nah, it ain't like that. And that chicken, she was dry, bitch.
Real dry.
So this is when Wolverine convinced her not to kill her by talking about Charles, saying, I knew your brother, and the only reason I would let you die, like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't stand here and let you die, so I'm doing this for him. And she's like, oh, you knew my brother, blah. So kind of pull at her heartstrings. That's how she's like, okay, I'll let you guys go. And so they take it off, and she's like, I killed a wizard, and he had this trinket.
Yeah.
So she pulls out a sling ring, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, she killed everybody. That's crazy.
Yeah. She wore her skin for 4 days. I was like, what the fuck? Why?
She's messed up, man. She's messed up.
Like Deadpool said, why are you like this? So they got a sling ring, and this is how they get out.
Yeah.
She opens up the thing. And then when they drop down from the portal, this is when Deadpool, he's like, oh man, you can make him do this till his night, because they fall in a car and they're like, oh, it's Deadpool, it's Wolverine. Yeah, we're back. They're gonna make him do this till he's 90.
That was funny.
And then so back on in the void, Pyro tells Cassandra about Paradox, says, yeah, he was the one that got me to try and kill you, and the Time Ripper. So she's like, oh shit, there's a Time Ripper? Say less, I'm going. So this is when she goes to, she pulls up, and she gets down into the machine, takes it over because she wants to rip up all timelines.
Yeah.
And then all that's left is the void, and she's the queen of the void, so she'll be the all-time
all ruler or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of that bad guy cliche. I want to rule the world,
Scorch earth, basically. Yeah, there's only be one in the world, and I'm gonna build.
But like I said, this movie, I really don't care about the plot of this movie.
For sure.
It's great. It's funny.
I mean, Casanova.
regardless.
It's interesting they picked her because she's literally an omega freaking mutant. Like,
Definitely.
there's like no, but that's literally a term. There's like only like 10 mutants that are like omega, and it's like, for them to put her in this movie, I'm like, no one can stop her. That's what I was curious, like, how the heck is she gonna die, or what's gonna happen to her in this movie? And we'll talk more about that as it goes. But
yeah. So this is when all the Deadpools pull up.
Yeah.
So Nice Pool pulls up. He's like, "Oh, how did you get there?" And then all the Deadpools show up. How?
Yeah, I don't know.
How the fuck did they show up?
I don't know. I guess
who has a sling ring and can work that? Or did
maybe
she get them there
maybe
to
they
defend
didn't show
her?
it, I guess, but maybe they just gave her.
But do they work for her? Like, they never established that.
Did
So why
they
would
say?
they?
Didn't
Did
well,
they?
I think they did say that. Yeah, she sent. I think they did say like she sent us, and she said she killed multiple Doctor Strange. She's probably had a couple of those. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then so Wolverine and Deadpool get ready to fight all of them. And it's really funny though, because Ryan Reynolds kind of stops this whole thing. He's like, no, that's enough of this multiverse shit. Like, ever since Endgame, it's just been miss after miss after. That was killing me, dude. I was like,
too.
But like, the Marvel writers are writing this about their own scripts that were misses. Like, damn, man.
I know. It's
I was so surprised that they were roasting themselves so much, but
you know
it was
what-
great. It was
what I
hilarious.
take that more of a hit on? Well, it's not really their fault, but imagine the people that were like in Eternals and Shang-Chi and all those shows. You're watching this movie and be like, I'm part of that. All these jokes they're talking about, I'm in the shit movie, and I just maybe not shit. They weren't all shit. They just weren't as good. They were on the same caliber. Because I've heard some of the shows were good. Like, I heard Moon Knight was good. Like, some of those they were okay. It's just like we got used to like a high caliber. We were getting 8s and 9s, and then I don't want to say 10s. Nothing was perfect, but then they started throwing us 6s and 7s. It's like, weird.
If it's
Exactly.
So this is so Deadpool wants the dog, so he basically kills Nice Pool, uses him, human shield. But I was like, wait, this guy's dead? Like, he can't regenerate? What the fuck? I thought all Deadpools could do this.
I know. But I guess just because he wasn't messed up in the face, that should have been our inkling that he could actually die.
Oh,
I think
true.
all the other ones
he never went through that
sacks
mutation
under this. That's why they all wear masks.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then right before the fight, this is when Wolverine pulls down his mask.
Oh yeah.
But literally, when this happened, the guy beside me stood up.
Really?
Swear to God, he stood up and like clapped and cheered. I was like, I get it, it's cool.
Yeah.
But like, damn.
No, it's a bit more. Yeah. It's cool. I'm not standing up.
But I was also like, where did this mask come from? Like, the whole movie, there was nothing at the back of his head. He just pulled this over. I was like, the fuck?
I was thinking that too. Some classic
Where
cartoon
was
shit.
this?
You like pull something from your back, like GTA. You just grab something, suddenly you have a rocket launcher. It's
Exactly.
just, it's just something.
Yeah, you're
there.
switching guns in Fortnite and they're not going anywhere. Like, yeah.
Just behind you. Just
Yeah. It was behind me the whole time. You guys didn't see it yet. Then we get the huge Deadpool fight.
yeah.
And I literally thought the same thing. They whip through all of them. They jump through the back of the bus. And there's this sick shot of like Wolverine and Deadpool. They have like the superhero pose. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
But again, like, they kill all of them. I was like, none of these guys regenerate? Like, how?
Yeah, and I was thinking that exact same thing too. I was like, damn, what? He's the only
I
one
was
that
like,
can regenerate?
Yeah.
And
then they come back. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
No, it makes sense. That makes way more sense now. And
So
we got
we're-
the quick
so-
little. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying we get the quick little Stan Lee cameo. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Like on the bus, like as they were
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
through the bus. I just want to throw that in there. I like that they
Nice.
still threw him in there. Obviously, you can't physically be in there. Just have him in there.
Gotta do something.
Gotta do something.
That's the man.
That's the man. Stan the man.
Stan the man. So I was like, oh shit, how are they just gonna be fighting forever? Like, how are they gonna get out of this?
Yeah.
And then our boy Peter pulls up and everyone gets
Hey.
excited and they're like, everybody's got a Peter. I was like, okay, this is lit. So he's like, nope, he's with me. Everyone's like, okay,
Yeah.
we're good.
And what did
Sweet.
they do? They just cheer around him for the next like half an hour. Like,
Yeah, they all just gave him hugs, take
Yeah,
turns
they got
giving
so
him hugs,
lit.
man. that was funny.
that was funny.
So then Nova, she's at the Time Ripper, they're like, they find out that they can stop it by bridging the matter and antimatter, but they're gonna die if they do that.
Yeah.
So they both go down, and Deadpool locks Logan out.
Mm.
And I was literally like, Logan can just cut through this door. No?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what is, like, he starts like bashing it, trying to get in. I'm like, bro, pull out your claws, cut it a
just
couple
cut
times
through.
and walk in. Like, what? Why are we doing this?
I also like the little Deadpool stuff of like when he was doing all the like the stupid shit, like he's doing the pretending to walk down the stairs and doing the floating
that was
thing.
funny.
And I was like, what is he doing? He's like, I'm actually just stalling. I'm actually kind of nervous about dying. Like, I like how you're straight up about it, dude.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm
good.
stalling. I really don't actually want to do this.
Yeah, that was good. You're right. I like that too. So he's trying to make the bridge. He can't reach. Wolverine jumps in. He starts to create the bridge, and then we get that sick Hugh Jackman Wolverine yell.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
as he's dying, he's like, lets out one of those yells. I was like, it's perfect, man. Who else could do that? Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
He's one of one, man. And he's still
If you're
jacked as hell too. Like I don't know if that was like a body double or not, or if this man actually still looks that ripped.
I think he's still got it.
You think so? Oh,
I think so.
I shout out to him. I guess he's whatever the Rock's on. Rock probably gave him a little bit of it.
Well, because even this is definitely the first scene that they shot.
Oh yeah.
For the whole movie, because like, you know, he just came from the gym, got an omega pump, and then, you know, for your 2 months or 3 months or whatever for filming, you're not working out as much, so you lose that muscle mass.
Yeah,
100% first scene.
Oh,
because after this, he walks out with no shirt. And he's still D's.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
This is probably the first scene that
You're
they
probably
shot.
right.
But I think it's him. I think he's still got it.
Okay, I'll give it to him. Let's give it to him.
Yeah. So they make the bridge. They blow everything up. And, you know, they get these little, not flashbacks, but we see kind of inside their head. Wade finally matters. And Logan is now a hero. He saved at least some timelines. He kind of has, like we said, that redemption arc, the closed loop of their character arcs for this movie at least.
Yeah.
Then they come out. They're still alive. The TVA manager pulls up. She's loving on Peter.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you look good
in that suit. Yeah, because you're wearing the Deadpool suit.
That was great. I mean, we knew he had it in his locker. He was ready to go.
No,
man.
That's true.
So yeah, they come back out. They're like, okay, the timeline's no longer decaying. You guys saved it.
Mm-hmm.
He brings Logan to see all of his friends, the X-Force, and then we see him and Vanessa. Vanessa goes to hold his hand, so maybe they're getting back together.
Yeah.
So all the happy ending at the end of the movie.
Yeah, all is well. And like, yeah, they don't, because they try to ask, hey, can we bring back his world? You know, like redo everything to bring all his people back, but she declines it. Which I guess I didn't really think about. I thought it was kind of whack, because like not whack, because I wanted to see, but I was like, I feel like they didn't really give a reason. But I guess it's because the whole like canon event thing. Like I don't know if did you see the new Spider-Man movie?
Yeah,
how they all had the canon event where they're
Sick
always
movie.
like, you can't save Uncle Ben because that's your canon event if you do that. So I guess like that's his canon event. Like all the X-Men have to die. If they don't, then you can't be.
I don't think it's a to me, I don't think it's a canon event. I think it's more because she was like, we can't just go and start messing with every timeline, right? That's when, I mean, in the lore of time travel, in every movie, TV show, and book or whatever, you can't just mess with timelines, because then it'll fuck with time and creates a rip. Or that's probably what it is, but that's my guess, anyways.
Yeah, I think I just had Spider-Man in my mind, so I was like, oh, maybe it's the canon thing. But I also got to acknowledge too, because just for anyone that's listening, because I don't want to like downplay it, the dog pool was hideous. I know someone's gonna be like, you guys are gonna mention that dog who looked wild. The dog looked wild.
It was, well, think about it. It went through a mutation. It's like Wade, like we said, it looks like a ball sack, man. It went through the mutation. That's the Deadpools don't look good, man. That's the point.
I looked up that dog. That dog apparently got an award for being like the ugliest dog in like Britain or something like that. I don't know how Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, he got him like licking his mouth when that was happening. I was like, ugh. That's a real dog?
That's a real dog. Someone owns that dog in the Great Britain.
Damn.
And I guess must have saw it and like, I'm putting that dog in my movie. That's gonna be dog pool. That dog's gonna have multiple cameos probably going forward. He kept them.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And I guess X-23 is staying around too.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Well, she got left in the void though.
No, she was at the dinner.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
How'd they get her?
I don't know. She was just there.
How did she get out of
That's
the
why I
way?
said it. I was like, I guess she's gonna be there too.
Wait, yeah, you're right. How that?
And
Because
that's
even
fucked up,
like
too.
Blade,
took her,
Gambit,
not
Elektra. How did
Blade.
they?
Yeah. No, they left them. They said you're going down with Fox. Sorry.
He didn't
We
pass
wanna
the
keep
paper
her.
bag test, bro.
I guess so.
He's too dark. He did not pass the paper bag test.
And Channing
you-
Tatum.
Yeah, that accent. They're like, no, you're out of here. I
Yeah,
I
everyone
don't know
had a
what you
reasoning.
would
Yeah,
say. Yeah, how did she get there?
I don't know. I
That's-
don't know.
yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. That's funny
Yeah.
though. All right, facts.
I mean, we get the
Let's
cool
get
little
to some
montage.
facts.
The cool little montage credits.
Oh, during the
That
credits?
was-
Yeah.
There was that, and then the ending scene. We could just
Oh,
we
right,
got
the post credit.
yeah. Which the post credit was just because Deadpool was talking shit, saying that that the Human Torch was talking shit about Casanova, and he's like, I never said any of that stuff, and he was saying a bunch of wild stuff, telling her she could lick my cinnamon ring and all that stuff, and I'll do all that. And then we actually get to see, like, he actually did say that, so we get a little clip of him actually saying all that things, and then he's like, "Got you, motherfucker," and then
Yeah.
that was it.
That was hilarious. Chris Evans was amazing.
Saying
in
all that
scene. Like
stuff?
he was
Oh my
saying
God,
all
that's
that stuff. I
hilarious.
was like, this is incredible. Like I didn't know Chris Evans had that. Like he was funny, dude.
No, he's
Like, I've never
hilarious.
seen him really be funny in a
Mm.
role. I've only ever seen him be like play like a badass or you know,
Mm.
shit like that. But like he was funny, dude.
No, he was funny. There's if you ever seen Knives Out, he's a funny scene in that.
No, I haven't seen that movie.
He's funny in that movie.
Okay.
That's a good one to see him in.
All right.
That's a good movie. We should do that movie at one point.
Say less.
Yeah, we should do that.
All right, yeah.
I got
Give me
one
one of your
question.
facts.
I got
Oh,
one
a
question,
question.
for you. It
Okay.
ties in. It's nothing we've never done past the movie breakdown. But
Yeah.
do you think Casanova is really dead? I don't know if you just thought matter of fact. Yeah, she's dead. I don't know
I
if
didn't
you were
even
thinking
think
about it.
I didn't even think about it, but yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. The only
I mean,
reason
she doesn't heal. She fucking exploded.
my thing is that just from knowing, because I actually know about Casanova from the comic books. Like it wasn't from, I
Yeah.
didn't read comics. Like I wasn't a huge comic. Sometimes I read comics, but mostly from watching X-Men things. But like when Xavier kills her in the belly, like she dies, but she doesn't have a body form anyway. So then she ends up just putting
Ah.
herself in a body. So she doesn't really like die. Like he thinks he kills her, and then she just goes into another body. So I was like, is she's gonna come back in another body? I don't know if they're gonna go that deep with it. So I was just thinking that when it happened though. I was like, oh, she
I
really
think we
did.
just cracked the code to the Doctor Doom. That's how they're going to do Tony Stark. It's really Casanova in Robert Downey Jr.'s body.
You think so?
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
No, cut it. No, cut that. That stand on that. That's a clip.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, 100%. That's my bold take. All right.
Yeah, go.
Well, I'll give you one fact.
Okay, yeah, go.
So I read that Hugh Jackman, when he put the suit on for the first time,
Hmm.
he said putting it on looked so right and felt so right, and he actually questioned why he didn't have that like a comic accurate suit
Hmm.
in previous movies.
Yeah.
Like once he put it on, he was like, "Man, why didn't I have this before?"
That's
But
cool.
like just the fact that he put it on, he said it felt right and
Ah,
looked
that's
right. I was
awesome.
like, "Ah, that's sick."
awesome. I saw on a thing too, like the original director didn't want them to have the suits. I don't know if you saw that, which
Man,
is so
fuck that guy.
goofy. Like I remember I was reading that, and he was like, he's saying that like, oh, I don't want any comic books on set. Like I don't want people getting the ideas that we're doing our own adaptation. I'm like, we're gonna make them wear black leather. And like at the time, I didn't know anything because a little kid watched that movie. But now I'm looking back, I'm like, what an ass. Like, why would
Yeah.
you go onto a project to do a comic book movie and be like, we're not going to do anything from the comic books? So you imagine a dude came on like, okay, we're going to do the Harry Potter movies, but it's not going to be
No
like a
magic.
book. Yeah, you know, it's like, what? Like, they're not going to wear those robes. We're going to have them wear some blue robes just because I want to do that. Like, that's so weird. And it's weird that Fox
Yeah.
let him do that.
I feel like maybe because they were so early on and comic book movies weren't popular yet, right?
Yeah, they felt like they could just do anything.
It would have been a bigger risk to do like much
Comic.
more comic accurate stuff.
Yeah.
So like in this sense, you know, when they're wearing more normal clothes and stuff, it's more of like just like a studio film. It's less
Yeah.
so like a comic book movie. It's just a film, you know, and these are characters. So
Yeah.
so maybe that's why, like, maybe it was the studio that kind of was like, it's less risky
Mhm.
to like really dive deep into like the whole comic book superhero thing and just make it a movie.
Yeah.
And we're using like that's the characters that we're using, and that's the the content of the story,
Mhm.
but we're gonna make it a little more normal per se, so that like it's not as jarring for audiences, because early on those X-Men movies were very early, and like superhero movies
Oh, yeah.
weren't popping like they are today.
No, 100%. Blade was the first one that really popped. I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure people that like maybe will watch them like in the 80s and 90s would disagree. They'd be like, "Well, no, Batman. Obviously, Batman was big, but at least for Marvel, Marvel didn't have anything popping really. Blade
Yeah.
was like the first time, and
True.
it was rated R movie too. But no, I see what you're saying. I also got to point out too that like there was like a little diss. I remember in the first movie. I remember this is me doing research, like rewatching some of the old movies. I didn't go back and watch everything, but there's a scene where, even when they mention it, like Wolverine's like, "Oh, like this is like you guys are gonna be rocking these." He's like, "What? You expect us to be wearing yellow suits or something?" So he even jabbed at the comic book fans. But in X-Men '97, there's a scene when they're like, "Oh, this is the kind of suits you guys wear." He's like, "What? You thought we'd be wearing black leather?" So they kind of dissed him back. A little callback to him dissing them. Like, nah,
I like that. Yeah,
why
that's
would
sick.
we wear black leather? That's lame. I like
Nice.
that they did that little subtle thing 20 years later.
Yeah.
A little F you to him.
I love it.
I love
Pettiness
it.
at its finest. I love it. Yeah,
At its finest.
it's great. Give me one of your facts.
All right. I saw that originally they were gonna name the movie Deadpool and Friend, which is just,
What?
yeah, I know. I don't know why that was even like a thought.
My only thought would be
As a
if they wanted,
surprise?
if they wanted Wolverine to be more of a surprise, like all the other cameos. We don't know who's in it or
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they're coming in. So that would be
How
my
would you build the
only
trailer
guess.
though for that?
You'd be able to do it.
It'd be
I mean,
so
you just have scenes of
secretive, the whole
him-
trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if the
I
movie's
think-
gonna be the two of them the whole movie, and you're gonna have the second person be a complete surprise, I feel like it's a hard push.
I feel like but also like if the title is Deadpool and Friend, and then the friend of the movie isn't in any of the shots of the trailer, you'd be kind of like, the fuck.
Yeah, I guess that's
That's
true.
probably why they didn't do that.
Nah. Yeah, I guess that. And also, makes way more sense just marketing wise of just like
Yeah, 100%.
you put Deadpool and Friends, people be like, but you put Deadpool and Wolverine, people are like, yo, Wolverine's back. Like
Yeah,
people that maybe
gotta
aren't even
watch
like
it.
following anything that's going on in the whole like MCU. They're like, yo, Wolverine's back. Which is again, we're recording this on a Sunday. I just saw that the movie's already made $400 million globally.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking huge.
And
yeah,
it's
gonna
Sunday.
be.
It's only been 3
Yeah.
days of people watching it.
It's gonna
Whoa.
it's gonna be massive. And like we said, with all the fan service, like people are gonna be talking about it, and it's funny. Like I
yeah.
think people will want to watch it again. People will tell their friend. It's gonna make a ton of money.
You think it's touching a bill?
I don't know about all that.
Nah. What's your guess?
I don't-
8?
Well, I guess if it's 4 right now, opening weekend. I mean, opening weekend's obviously normally the biggest.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna go down.
I could see 7 or 8,
Okay.
maybe around.
All right.
I could be totally wrong. I'm no expert.
You got another fact?
Yeah, so Rob McElhenney,
Okay.
who is Ryan Reynolds' co-chairman of
Yeah.
Wrexham FC,
Mm-hmm.
cameos as a TVA agent in the movie.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, like he had come to set, like him and Ryan Reynolds had to like talk about stuff for the club, like for the soccer team.
Mhm.
They had to deal with some business or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, they were like, you want to throw on a suit and like be an agent?
Oh, wow. That's dope.
That's sick.
That actually is dope.
I didn't recognize him obviously because
Yeah,
I've never
me
seen
neither.
Welcome to Wrexham. I don't know if you have.
No, I've never.
But,
I know of the show, but I've never
Yeah.
seen an episode. That is sick.
Yeah.
Nice little
But
cameo.
I thought
in it.
that was a cool fact.
No, that is a fun little thing. I like that. I actually know what's funny. I feel like such a noob. I know some people are gonna be watching. I'm like, what, you didn't know? Like Ryan Reynolds' girlfriend. I like what her name? Blake Lively.
Like Lively?
Yeah, I
His
didn't know.
wife.
No, his wife. Yeah, sorry. I didn't know.
How dare you?
I didn't know that she was from Gossip Girl. I had no
What?
idea. I've never seen Gossip Girl.
Oh,
I know what she was
okay.
from. What?
Well, she's been in The Town. She's been in all sorts of stuff, dude.
I didn't know she was on Gossip Girl. That's the thing. So when he made that
Oh,
joke
okay.
about like there's 206 bones in the human body and 261 when I watched Gossip Girl, at first I was like, okay, he's making a Gossip Girl joke, but then I was like, oh, it makes even more sense. He's talking about his wife. That's another breaking the
Yeah.
fourth wall. He's just talking like he's Ryan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that. You're
Yeah.
right. That was good.
I literally didn't realize she was in Gossip Girl. I know Eloise is hating on me because I know she loves that show. But
How dare you? Yeah. Do you have anything else, or is it?
there's been it's like a little trivia for you, sort of.
Ooh.
There's been 11 rated R Marvel movies. Do you know what
shit.
they are?
I'm definitely not gonna get all 11.
Yeah.
Rated R.
Yeah.
Blade, like you said.
Yep. So that's 3 right there.
Logan.
That's 1. Yep. So you're 4.
I don't even know if I can get past that.
Come on, bro. What movie we just watched?
Movie we just watched. Marvel.
That we're talking about.
Oh, this one.
And there's 3 of them. There's 3 Deadpool.
Oh, the Deadpool movies.
Yes,
yeah, but
there you go. Rated R.
But they're Sony. Oh, okay, right. They're Marvel movies. They're not
they're
Sony
Marvel movies.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
Marvel
okay,
movies.
yeah.
There you go.
All right,
I don't know
there
if
you
we
go.
could.
So how many did I get? 6? That's not bad.
Yeah, and then there's the Punisher movies, which I've never seen any of them. There's
Oh, me
3
neither.
Punisher movies.
I didn't even know them.
I
There's
know.
3 Punisher
There's
movies?
3 Punisher movies.
How old are they?
One came out in 1989. One came out in 2004. One came out in 2008. That's crazy. For us to be little kids in the 2000s and we were consuming everything and we didn't watch Elektra. We didn't watch 2 Punisher movies. 2
Who was
Punisher
Punisher?
movies. I don't even remember.
Damn.
That's crazy. Those movies could just fly by. Well, I guess they were rated R, but not still. I watched. We could at least know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know about it.
Blade was old.
Yeah, Blade
Blade
was
came out.
1998, 2002, and
There you go.
2004, and we knew about it. Didn't even know about the Punisher. 2 movies went by, and then the last one was a movie that I've never even heard of. Is Swamp? No, it's called Man Thing. You ever heard of Man Thing?
No, I've heard of Swamp Thing.
I know.
That's DC, isn't
That's
it?
the funny thing. Yeah, Swamp Thing is DC, and Man Thing is Marvel. It's the
Is it the
exact
same
same.
thing?
Yeah, you know how they do that shit like Quicksilver and Flash.
Yeah.
It's funny because Man Thing came out in 1971 in May, and then DC came out with Swamp Thing in July of that same year.
So wow,
Yeah, from May to July.
crazy.
They saw them do Man Thing. I was like, you guys are doing Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing sounds better. Though.
It does sound Man Thing.
So like Man Thing, yeah, that's a horrible name for a superhero, or if it's a villain, or it's a bad. It's just
anti-hero
a bad name.
kind of thing. It is a bad name. I think they realized that too. Like when they named the thing Man Thing. All right, guys. I think we can clean this up.
That's the most vague thing ever. Like, what is this guy's superpower? It could be literally anything. Man Thing. That's terrible.
Horrible.
All right, well, I guess it's time for the filmies then.
Time for the filmies. So
let's do it.
If you're new to the show, like I was teased it earlier, we do an award show at the end of our show. We got 6 awards. So the first one we have is called the Ferris Bueller Award. So this is an award that we give out to, it can be a character, director, or any part in the movie that we've deemed was lazy. And it could be anything like I said, like from the writing, maybe something the character did. But it's a fun award. We don't usually, there's nothing that even ruined the movie for us. Sometimes something funny we want to point out that this is the only place when you really mention it. So, what was your Ferris Bueller award? Who's it go to or what?
So mine goes to a part of the movie, I guess.
Okay.
This is kind of like the inception of the award, like the birth of the award for us, or the idea at least.
Yeah.
It's a scene that I feel like is left out. Like when Casanova says, "Oh, I came across this magician and I killed him and he left this trinket." Show me.
Yeah, no.
She could have just quickly had that. Like they're there. I'm like, how are they gonna get it out? She just pulls a sling ring out of the pocket. It is like, yeah, I killed this guy and grabbed it. I was like, man, that's lazy. Like, this. I thought this could have been a great establishing scene for our villain, because a lot of times you see that in movies, especially superhero movies. You know, you'll see your good guy doing something heroic, and you'll see your bad guy doing something bad, and then they'll meet up after. So, right, if we saw Doctor Strange come in, maybe they couldn't afford,
Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch, but if he comes in and she kills him, steals the sling ring, like that could be a quick 1-2 minute scene.
No, it's true.
And then we're like, okay, now she has a sling ring and she's a bad guy. Right? Like, so it does 2 things at once. They left it out. That's lazy.
No, that's true.
They just told me, nah, lazy.
They just don't want to pay everybody, though. She's talking about killing everybody. In the show, kill Magneto and Xavier.
Well, but those don't have to. Those
that's
are
true.
Pertinent to the story.
That is true.
She has the sling ring.
No, that's true.
Show me, and she says that she killed him and wore her skin for 4 days. Like,
oh god, yeah.
Come on, man.
No, you're not
I
wrong.
want to
I'm just-
see Benedict Cumberbatch's skin on her. That's what I want to see.
Hey, yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, honestly. I was a little bit was thinking that too. I thought we were gonna. I was like expecting to see a Doctor Strange moment. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we're just gonna. All right, whatever. But I ain't mad at it. That's
Lazy.
Good. That's good. I like that one. So my Ferris Bueller, which is something that like I struggle because again in a comedy movie, like we're not gonna go. You don't want to go too hard with them because it's like everything is just
No.
in jest in this kind of movie. But to me, it was just very glaring to me of like when they because of initially when they go to fight Cassandra Nova, Wolverine isn't gonna come with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they pull up, right? And then and they don't know he's with them, but then he just comes up out of the trunk. They didn't know he was in he snuck into the trunk without them noticing. And you tell me he was hiding in the trunk the whole drive. And not during the drive, you'd be like, you know what, guys, I actually come. Or why didn't he just say, hey guys, I'm coming with you? Why was he just hiding in the trunk the whole time?
Well, maybe did they not know?
No.
They could have known.
They didn't talk
Were they
to him.
surprised after?
Yeah, it was like a big moment where like they look. Remember, she like X-23. She looked back and smiled, like they're all like happy. Why else would they not be smiling like that unless it was supposed to be surprised? Why?
This big ass, and his whole body is adamantium. He's got to weigh 1,000
That's what I
pounds.
mean.
He's weighing down the back of the van. Someone was like, "Damn, what's so heavy back there?"
That's what I mean. It's just like something small like that where I was like, what the hell? I was like, why is he just hiding in the trunk the whole
What was the
time?
point? That was probably a long drive too, because like wherever their hideout was, it's obviously not like 5 minutes away from the base.
Yeah.
So he was like cramped in this in this trunk for an hour and a half drive or whatever it was, just lying back there for no reason too. Like there's the reveal for the audience, but why did he not tell?
I know.
Good point.
I just didn't understand. It was just funny. It made me laugh. I was like, wait, you're just hiding in the trunk the whole time? I was just like, why? But hey, it is what it is.
That's funny. I like that.
So then our next award that we have is the fit check. Pretty self-explanatory. So Scott, what was your favorite fit of this movie, or your least favorite?
My favorite fit, the one that stood out to me, it was Gambit's fit, like the comic accurate costume.
Yeah,
and like there's all sorts of comic accurate costumes, but I don't know. I think it just really worked in the live act because sometimes like stuff in a comic or an animation, when you do it in real life, it kind of looks stupid. But I thought it was really cool. Like so he's got on the like knee-high silver boots. I think they're actually metal.
Yeah.
Just black pants, but he's got like the purple like leather shirt or whatever
like a
that goes.
Vest thing. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
and
about.
it's got like the gray around the collar, and then it goes up on around his head.
Oh,
it was dope.
They even got his
And
hair.
His hair was slick. Yeah, his hair slicked over to the side. That was dope. And what was really fucking dope was the jacket. Big ass like brown jacket with the pop collar. Oof, fresh.
It was fresh. And guess what, Scott? We got a certified fit check.
Hey,
Yes, go.
certified.
You know, we got to have like a Kendrick saying certified and just whap, 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 whap. Every time we got a certified.
Yeah,
that's
we need a soundboard.
That's our newest soundboard edit. We got Kendrick saying certified.
Yeah.
Just cut out the pedophile
we'll
part.
go on. Yeah. Certified lover boy, certified
fit check.
Black.
Bitch. Wow, wow, wow. We'll just have a monotone voice for each award and then just wow, wow, wow.
That's great.
All right.
Yeah, certified. It's dope.
Certified. No, it was fresh. I was thinking the exact same thing too. Because again, when Gambit was in the freaking X-Men movie, he wasn't. I didn't have. They were so lazy in that origin movie. I get it's an origin, so everyone's gonna have their suit. But it's also disappointing. You want to see them like maybe not have it in the beginning and then get it later.
Right.
You saw a whole Spider-Man origin movie and he's never had his costume, just the one that he made. Like you want to see them eventually wear their costume, and they just never wore. You never saw the Deadpool suit, and you never saw Gambit actually wear his stuff. I was like
Toby when he's in those pajamas when he's fighting in the ring.
Imagine a whole movie of that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you're right. That'd be horrible,
ridiculous. So I was so happy to finally see him rock that, even though his accent was stupid.
But the fit was hard.
The fit was hard though. All right, so now our next award is the favorite quote. So what was your favorite quote in this movie, Scott?
My favorite quote goes to Gambit as well.
Okay.
And it's in that scene when they're teaming up, that we meet all four of them.
Yeah.
The four rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a hilarious joke. It doesn't mean anything to the story. It's not perfect for a character or anything. I just thought it was hilarious, and it's my favorite quote. So He says, I didn't know my daddy, but I'm sure I shot out of his dick ready. Yeah, he was laying them bulky nuts all up in my mama, and I shut up there and said, "What's up, doc?" I was like, what did he just say? I was like, there's no way he just said that. I didn't know my daddy, but I'm sure I shot out of his dick ready. That already was crazy. Already, I was like, okay,
Hey,
that's a banger.
yo, yeah.
And then, because Deadpool responds, he's like, damn, that's incredibly graphic. And then he doubles down. Yeah, he was laying them buttery nuts all up in my mama, and I shot up there and said, "What's up, doc?" What the fuck? Who even thinks of that? But that made me
Oh
laugh
my
out
gosh.
loud in the theater and gets my award.
Oh no, that was good. That was I actually forgot about that.
Craziness.
There were so many good lines too. It's like, what do you pick? There's literally a movie like,
Yeah,
what do you pick?
there's a lot of good
There's
ones.
a lot of good. I forget that one was good. Oh my god, yeah, that was good. I even I didn't give it as my quote, but even I forget the one because I remember when Blade said, I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure he said that in the other movie. Like when he said the whole thing about like, motherfucking ski did it. Like I can't remember what it was, but I remember he said that. That's like I think it was like a line he said in the first movie. I can't remember exactly what, but I didn't pick it because my favorite quote was something we were talking about. It was it's the quote right out of coming out of the tailor, and you're just like, it's perfect. FYI, your tailor is a your tailor is a predator, but I love it. The suit fits nice.
Yo, that was another one that made me laugh out loud. That was hilarious.
Because again, you're thinking it's just like a little thing where it's just all those groping, what's going to happen. He's going to walk in the room and the guy like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But him talking about
oh my god, it was so funny. Yeah, that great quote. Great quote.
And that's why I think this movie is good for a rewatch. Because it doesn't have to be right away. Like even if it's just like a couple months from now, maybe you'll probably forget about a couple of the jokes. You rewatch the cameos will maybe hit you with the same, like, oh, that was cool that happened. But then the jokes, you'll be like, yo, I can't forget he said that. Like I think it would be good for those, for just those jokes, because those are timeless.
That quote is incredible. That joke was so funny. Like it was just the expectation. Like I had, like, because he's in all the movies, like he has all these sexual jokes and like, so the butt tapping, I didn't think anything of it. I was totally whatever. So when he came out and said that, that fucking killed me. That was hilarious. And like with mine, like with Gabe, like with his accent, like I just said the quote, but like the way he delivers it with his accent, it just sounds even funnier. It's amazing. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh, that was good. It was good. So our next award is the sixth man. I already gave my sixth man. So who is your sixth man?
I just want to shout out. This is the Nas Reed Award.
Oh, true, the Nas Reed. My apologies. Apologies for anyone that's new.
This will be some of our. Yeah, this will be some people's first pod.
Yeah, this is your first pod. We call our six man award the Nas Reed Award because he's the reigning sixth man in the NBA, and we're gonna change it every time there's a new sixth man. But for as of right now, it is Nas Reed. So Scott, who is your Nas Reed sixth man?
Yeah, so my sixth man. This is someone with a tiny role that balled out.
Yep.
And mine goes to the guy. He actually has a line, so I'm sure he was credited, but I didn't see it in the credits. I mean, I was looking at, like you said, the montage that was going on, so I don't know his name. But he's the guy that works at the TVA. And when they're in the office and when Deadpool comes out with his suit and he's like eyeing him down, and he's like, yeah, this feels all good. I mean, you just gave the quote. And he says, yeah, this guy knows. So it goes to that guy.
Okay.
And the reason is the calling HR joke that I mentioned earlier. Yeah. He's like, oh, you're calling your wife, aren't you? He's like, I'm calling HR. And he's like, does your wife work in HR? He's trying to say, like, you're still calling your wife. But like the facial expressions that he's giving throughout, like he has like the love for Deadpool because he's so like entranced by the suit.
Yeah.
And then he's like confused when he's asking about his wife. And then he's so stoic then when he says I'm calling HR. Like he's so stoic with it, and I don't know, it's so good, and that joke made me laugh so hard. And he does get a little scene at the end of the movie when they break the time ripper and then they show up.
Yeah,
he's there, and then Wolverine comes out with no shirt on. He does the same thing. Like he's eyeing him up and down.
I was gonna mention that too. Thing. Yeah.
So like. Again, just like he has the one line, I'm calling HR, but the facial expressions, and he has like these maybe 2 minutes of screen time, and he made me laugh both times. So he gets my sixth man award.
No, it's fair. If anything, I mean, maybe Blade was in a little too much. But I feel like he didn't say that much. That's why I was thinking maybe he could probably count as a 6 man. Yours is probably closer to more of a 6 man is. He very limited role, but
He's like a 12th man.
But when he was there, he stepped up.
He's actually on the G League team. He's not even on the roster.
I think the most 6 man you ever had is the Captain Phillips one. Anyone go back and listen to his Captain Phillips 6 man? That showed he was in there for I think you said like 2 minutes or something. Screen time.
Yeah, I remember.
He was in there a lot
longer,
longer, so at least
you
could say that.
But you had a good 6 man. Like Blade was great, and I think he's eligible for a 6. Really, the two. Like, you couldn't give it to Casanova. You couldn't give it to Deadpool or Wolverine. I feel like anybody else is fair game.
Yeah.
So, like Deadpool, not Deadpool, Blade, 100%. He's eligible.
Okay. I'm glad you agree.
Yeah.
So
we don't got to disqualify him.
No. Yeah, because him just being there, to me, I was like, it's lit. It's just lit. Yeah, it got me so hyped. I was like, I just got to give him something. But that being said, again, I got so excited about the opening scene. That was my favorite scene. So what was your favorite scene in the movie, Scott?
So my favorite scene is, once again, kind of where all of my words have gone. It's the team up with the cameos.
Okay.
Like, one is like, this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Like, seeing all these characters pull up and the actors that are playing them. I was like, okay, this is dope. Like, we saw Wesley Snipes, Jennifer Garter. Like, I was like, okay, this is fucking sick. Gambit was hilarious. Like, the whole the quote that I just gave killed me. Deadpool, like Ryan Reynolds is cooking in this scene. With the whole Magneto thing. Is Magneto the fourth guy? Do we have his helmet? Oh, that was killing me. And all the big names, and it was just when I was laughing the most. I just thought it was the most funny, and it was my best scene.
No, it's a great scene. The only reason I didn't pick that scene, because initially I was thinking, I was like, that's such a great scene. You're probably gonna pick it too. Again, there's nothing wrong with having both scenes. Like, it gets hyped when we have certified. But I was also like, I was thinking back, I was like, what was my favorite scene? I was like, I got pretty lit. Like, it's like the opening was like a good opening to me. I like most movies. I shouldn't say that. Some movies are like a little bit of a slow build. Like the opening scene might be something just like very guys just waking up. You know what I mean? Like nothing really happened. But this scene was like the opening scene for me, at least in this movie, was just like, here we go. This is the tone of the movie. Like, this is very much setting the tone we're gonna get. Here's your blood. Here's your jokes. Here's your boy band from 2000s over it as I kill these guys. And I was like, okay, this is a funny tone. But the scene that you picked was great though. Like that was a scene. Like, I almost felt like that dude that stood up when I almost stood up for Blade. I almost stood up for Blade. Like I thought about it. I was just so. It got me going.
I agree with you 100%, dude. The opening scene, probably, like, I thought about that, making that my best scene. So we were like on the same but the opposite. Like, we both had each other's scene, but we went with the other one because the opening scenes, like you said, like right from the jump, we're like, okay, we're laughing, we're seeing all this crazy action, where the music is going, and he's dancing while he's killing people, and it's instant. Like, as soon as you get into the movie, crazy action, funny jokes, and we know, okay, Wolverine's actually dead, and we're getting the vibe of the movie, and he's breaking the fourth wall, like all this stuff coming at you right away. It was hilarious. I was laughing right away. The theater was jumping, like, right from the jump. It was awesome.
No, it was good. It says, like I said, set the tone, and then just let us.
Exactly.
And now it's time for our MVP. Just the biggest award that we have. Who was your MVP of this movie, Scott?
Yeah, my MVP, you could see it as boring. I'm giving it to Ryan Reynolds. You could see it as boring giving it to the lead, the lead role. But I mean, kind of like I said earlier in the episode, I thought he was okay in the first two. I thought he was great in this one. I thought he was hilarious. He was making me laugh left, right, and center. Like I said, the plot of this movie isn't super important. So they leave all this empty space, all this screen time in the movie where it's just him talking shit. And like, if he's just doing it over and over and it falls flat, then the movie's just going to be like super slow pacing. It's not going to be, if the jokes aren't landing, then because there's so many of them, it's just going to be tired and it's not going to be good. And he's hilarious, and like he had all the opportunities in all of these scenes. He's in almost every scene of the movie. Like, I can't think of too many that he's not in. and the whole time he's cracking jokes and he's making me laugh the whole time, and I think he just deserves it.
Yeah. No, hey, guess what? That's another
Boom, boom.
certified
Certified.
award.
Hey.
Certified MVP.
Wah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, just everything you said, and to me, just not say everything you said again, but like to me, it's just making this work I'm sure this was a conversation that how he had with Feige and probably a lot of people too, because again, I'm sure they're like, yeah, we want you to be in this world too. Those movies are successful, because I remember initially they were talking about it being like PG-13 or whatever it is,
Right.
and I remember hearing that he was fighting to try to get that rating, because they were like, but it's Disney now. Like, we're not just Marvel. We have like the mouse is attached to us now. It's kind of tough for us to put the mouse on it and then also say it's rated R. Like, it's not really our thing. But he made it work, and it's just bringing this humor that I feel like was I feel like the humor in Marvel's always been pretty funny, but not like over a while it's been kind of watered down. It's kind of like the same. I don't think this is the humor is going to be going forward, but I think it was just like a refreshing change of pace like in the world, and it's just it kind of reminded you, like, again, this movie has a lot of nostalgia in it, but I think the last couple of projects they put out were just so meh that it was like, it just made me so sour on the whole thing. And this movie it reminded me of like what a good superhero movie can be, and it reminded you of like, oh man, those old movies were really good. And again, I'm optimistic for the future too, because I'm like, okay, not just because, again, I don't think that the movies going forward are gonna have all like the cussing, the dirtiness, when those guys eventually do make their way into with the other characters. But I still feel like they're gonna do something. Like, maybe I don't know if they're gonna have him bleeped or something, or is he gonna make these dirty jokes, but they're just gonna be very subtle. Hey, I just imagine him breaking the fourth wall with Thor and all that. I just imagine like him being in with them excites me. It's just like, these two older characters. I mean, Deadpool's a little newer, but Wolverine's definitely an older character. But just seeing these two older characters meshed in with the new characters, because again, we lost Iron Man, we lost Cap, and I think we lost the Guardians for the most part. I don't know if they're coming back, to be honest. But there's a lot of humor that is missed. So it's good to see him jump in there, and I'm optimistic. So he gets my MVP because of that. Like, I'm just his performance, and then I feel like he brought some juice back to the universe where I'm actually excited. I wasn't gonna watch Captain America, to be honest, the one's coming out, but now that after seeing this, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Better not suck. Better not suck.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the trailer for it actually when like waiting for this movie, and I was like, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But that's good looks, honestly. Like Ryan Reynolds, you're right. Just for making this happen.
Yeah.
Like in the way that it is, like, to have it rated R and to be able to actually have the character like he was in the first two, like that takes a lot. And like I had mentioned, they did a lot of kind of testing and checked it out kind of to see how it would work. But you're right. He probably was a big part in pushing for it, and then he executed it. So like 100% well-deserved MVP. It's certified, and I feel like maybe going forward in those movies that aren't going to be rated R, I feel like maybe some of the jokes, like, obviously they'll be a little bit toned down, but then there'll probably be one or two in the movie that will be at this level, but they'll kind of like leave the punchline out of it. Like, they'll lead you to what the punchline is going to be, but won't actually say it. You know what I mean? Like, they'll something in that kind of way. Like, they'll lead to a joke, and then it'll be clear what the joke is, what the punchline is, but you won't actually say it.
No, for sure.
So like, if you're a kid, right? Like, you would not get the dirtiness of the joke or whatever, but as an adult, you understand it. So I feel like it'll be kind of maybe in that direction that they go.
No, I agree. It's like the perfect like Pixar thing that they always do. Or it's not even just Pixar. A lot of movies do. Whereas like the one thing I always think about is like when this is a throwback, but in Space Jam, when Bug sees like Lola for the first time, he gets all stiff. And as a kid, you're just like, okay, but that's like it's like him getting like hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a kid's not getting that. It's like, okay, he's all just like, it's like stuff like that. I feel like you'll get jokes like that where just like, okay, that was like a thing. But a kid is just like, oh, why'd he do that? He's so silly. And it's just like, as an adult, you're just shaking your head. And I think a lot of the good things too will be like the breaking the fourth wall, because you don't even have to be that vulgar for that. all that stuff would just be hilarious. Him
It's just funny,
breaking
yeah.
the fourth wall and just doing that, because that's what Deadpool is, though. Like, there's a thing in there's a comic book, and I'm going to well, it's not a tangent because we're talking about Deadpool, but there's a comic where Deadpool just like, it's called, I think, Deadpool Kills the Avengers. He just kills all the Avengers, and there's actually, I don't know if it's that same one, but there's one where he realizes he's in a comic book as you're reading the comic book, and then he goes out to kill the writers of the comic book in the comic book. You know what I mean? It's just like constant fourth wall. That's what he is. So
Yeah.
it's just perfect. And like, I feel like that kind of humor, it's not something, again, you don't see in comic movies. It's obviously in movies.
No.
There's a lot of fourth wall movies that have been out there, but this, I mean,
they have to continue it.
Yeah, you have to.
Like if you're gonna bring Deadpool into the MCU and then totally change his character, especially seeing that it worked.
Yeah.
Like in the first two movies, they were like, the first one was super popular.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was the first time we saw all these vulgar jokes, rated R movie, fourth wall breaks.
Yeah.
It was super popular. It was funny. It was good.
Yeah.
So if you bring them in and then change that, I mean, that would just be a mistake. Like, so they have to find a way to keep it consistent. Like they'll do the fourth wall breaks 100%. I would imagine there's maybe going to be a little less of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll find jokes in there that adults will find the vulgarity in and kids won't.
Yeah.
And they'll work those in. And I'm excited for it going forward too. I haven't been excited about Marvel in a long time, honestly.
Yeah, same. And like, that's what this movie could have made a misstep of, just having you be like, oh man, I really love those old movies, and then just have us all wanting to rewatch the old movies, which I still do. Part of me is like, I want to go back and watch some of those X-Men movies now. But I'm also excited for the future, because this movie could have been like, I thought it was gonna be. I guess we didn't really talk about it, so it's good to bring up now. I thought Wolverine was gonna die.
Oh, really?
Like when they did the whole sacrifice thing, I thought that was gonna be their way of like, all right, here, we're writing him off. You got your last Wolverine cameo, and then he's gonna die, so now we can just move on. Because again, they have to recast him, right? So I thought they was gonna be like, this is his moment. He'll die. We're gonna keep Deadpool, but we're gonna have this dude be here till he's 90. But apparently, they do want to have him be here till he's 90.
I think
I literally
I could
thought
see
he was
him
gonna
doing
die.
it again.
I actually thought he was gonna die.
I thought they were gonna too. I didn't think they were gonna come back, because especially in this movie, right? It was the close of their character arc. Right?
Yeah.
So we see Wade. He wants to be in the Avengers. They shut him. They turn him down. Then he goes down into the depression. He loses Vanessa. He feels like he doesn't matter. Then he makes this heroic thing, and he does it like in the conversation with Happy, not because he wants to do it, but because it needs to be done. So that was the whole wrap of his character arc. And then Logan, he let everybody down on his universe. So now he's coming and saving all the other ones. It would have been a good close.
No, for sure.
And then, I mean, when they just kind of walk out of the hallway and they're just like, hey guys,
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
like,
It's like, okay.
can these guys die?
Yeah.
Like after seeing Logan, I was like, okay, so he can die.
Yeah.
Like what makes it like this kills him and this doesn't? Like, how do you know?
I don't know. It's
Like,
whatever
can
the
they
writer
drown?
wants.
Like, if you just put him in water, would they drown? Like, how does that work?
No, because I remember in one movie, Wolverine just wakes up underwater one time, and he just gets out. So he was clearly unconscious underwater for a long time. And he's woke up. I don't think they can die that way. I don't know.
Yeah, but a tree root system through your chest, that'll kill you. And
He was
or
old.
was it more?
It was old.
He was old, and he had taken that shot. Like there was like
Yeah.
a shot of like adrenaline, basically. So maybe all that together is what killed him. I mean, I wasn't mad at it at all in the time.
No,
I'm just,
for sure.
I just trying to figure out where the line is. Like what kills
The
him.
thing
and what doesn't.
expires. There's an expiry date on
Oh,
being
okay.
invincible. Apparently,
Okay,
I don't know what their date is, but
who knows?
who knows?
Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as all social medias, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at The Film Room Pod. Message us if you have any thoughts, what you liked, didn't like. And other than that, I'll shoot it over to Dion
Oh, well.
to take us out.
All right. Well, like Deadpool said, there are 206 bones in the body. And hopefully when you guys listen to the podcast, there's 207.
Hey. Yeah, we want you bricked up the whole time.